expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. You've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Sinners and Saints is back at the venue at Thunder Valley, Saturday, October 25th.
Don't miss the Michael Jackson tribute concert, the $5,000 costume contest, and more. Don't have FOMO checking your social media, seeing your friends posted from the party.
Get your tickets now at ThunderValleyResort.com.
If your passion is bass fishing, only one radio show has the action, information, and excitement of your favorite outdoor sport. Ultimate Bass, hosted by Tournament Bass Pro and California Outdoor Hall of Famer Kent Brown, takes you live to where the fish are biting every Saturday morning. Only Ultimate Bass feeds your passion with the latest news, products, tips, and advice from the pros. Ultimate Bass with Kent Brown, Saturday mornings at 5 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140, part of SEP's Saturday Morning Outdoors.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Your local sports leader in the 916.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, Sactown Sports 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
Yes. On a Thursday, Friday Eve, if you will, Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports, taking you up to 2 p.m. And it has been quite the 24 hours. Okay, quite the 24 hours here in Sacramento with everyone chiming in on how they feel about the Sacramento Kings. One of the more polarizing teams, I think, in sports. I don't know if polarizing is used in a good way in this capacity, but nonetheless, everyone was talking about the Sacramento Kings yesterday. The Keegan Murray deal that happened at about 3 o'clock, maybe even 4 o'clock. Whitey Gleason was on with Chris Watkins. I don't think it was, okay, everybody is talking trash about us, so go look over here. We're going to lock down our 25-year-old wing. I'm sure they were having those conversations for a while, but it was funny how that timing all added up, because from Zach Lowe to the random writer from a random media outlet, everybody was taking their swings. Yesterday, the Kings felt like, and if you're not on social media, maybe you didn't feel it as much, unless you were listening to the morning show and heard Carmichael Dave, but social media-wise, the Kings were essentially a piñata yesterday. They're getting swings from fans. They're getting swings from national media, right? They're getting swings from all over the place. Everybody taking their turn to make fun of the Sacramento Kings. And honestly, I didn't really know what to make of it, what to do with it. Because my stance, as I said before on the show, when I came in, very optimistic just for what Russell Westbrook could do to this specific team. We'll talk about the preseason game, which did not add to the optimism, and the Kings then lose Domantas Sabonis to a hamstring. We will check in on how serious that is. I mean, all you can do is hope at this point it's not very serious at all, and it was more precautionary. We'll have that update for you, if not on this show, on the afternoon show with Whitey Gleason. I believe Chris Watkins is in again. But it was just a really, I would just say, a confusing day for the Sacramento Kings and Sacramento Kings fans. You get Westbrook. A lot of people didn't want Westbrook. You get Keegan Murray. Keegan Murray has become polarizing because people are upset, thinking he shouldn't have gotten Trey Murphy money. He shouldn't have gotten paid more than Jabari Smith Jr. But if you listen to the show, you know that those that are very close in league circles know for a fact that Keegan Murray, this thing would have got sticky if it got to restricted free agency. And if he got made available for trade, almost every team would have been calling. Keith Smith just said that on these airways a couple days ago. So if you're listening to the show, you should not feel like Keegan Murray is getting overpaid. And if you still think Keegan Murray is getting overpaid, speaking of Keith Smith, go check out Spa Track. I know they did this exercise on the afternoon show yesterday. Go check out Spa Track. Go look at some of the amounts of money that dudes are being paid. Okay? We got Kings fans upset just to want to be upset. And I don't tell you how to fan. That's fine. But Keegan Murray, you got to pay somebody, and you get mad when they move on from dudes, acting like De'Aaron Fox is this all-world player. He's not. I'm not saying they should have moved on from him, but he's not. And I know the Tyrese Halliburton thing hurts more. But, okay, we're going to keep Keegan Murray. Oh, my goodness, you overpaid him. Come on, man. We just going to be mad about everything? Keegan Murray, when you compare him, and I'm glad they gave him the $28 a year. 5 years, 140. Go get the bag, Keegan. I sent out a message to his father trying to get Kenyon Murray on the show. But go get the bag, Keegan. Changed his life, got married, gets a huge bag. Good for him. But you look around and Trey Murphy has these crazy numbers. He had that leap year. Can somebody tell me who else was taking shots on that Pelicans team last season with Trey Murphy? Jose Alvarado, right? I mean, Eves Misi, okay? And I'm tired of going back and forth with people about, well, if he was the dude, he wouldn't need to. I'm just not going to argue with you, right? That's your feeling? Cool. If he was a dude, he wouldn't need to wait. I said something. I said, the conversations I've had, Keegan is getting his normal contract this season, or what's left of his old contract. Next season, we'll get into what Sam Amick had to say. There will probably be a high-volume player off of the team that first season where he's getting paid big money, relatively speaking. And the season after that, there may be another high-volume player off the team. I don't know if Zach LaVine will be gone, but his contract would be up. So you can sit here and argue, well, he shouldn't need to wait. Trey Murphy, Jabari Smith Jr., all these guys, please tell me if there is another individual from that draft class that has two other players on his team that are in the top 16 for shot attempts per game. Please tell me if there's somebody else. Trey Murphy don't have that, okay? All these other guys, they don't have that. And he's not at the level of the Paolo Bancheros, these dudes that got maxes. That's why, checks notes, he didn't get a max. So you can call in 916-339-1140 if you are, for some reason, upset about the extension, and it ain't your money, right? We're talking about what? You have Jabari Smith what is he at, Kyle? 22 a year, 24 a year?
He got 5 for 122.
Okay.
Keegan got 5 for 140.
Okay, so about a little less than 20 mil more. You want to argue about giving Keegan somebody else's money? It ain't your money. Worry about getting paid tomorrow, okay? I mean, you got to pick. This is what people say these days. Pick a struggle. Just pick a struggle. You're mad about Westbrook because they're getting older. You're mad about Keegan because they paid him They paid him $20 million too much or $10 million too much of money that is not yours. So you want to move off of him and make this team even older?
You want a fun piece of context for that? Of his draft class, where he was picked 4th overall, do you know how, in terms of total dollars, where Keegan ranks among his draft class who have signed extensions?
Where?
4th.
It's very simple. But like I said, I'm not going to tell anybody how to be a fan. We can call in. We can argue. I love it. That's what gets me up in the morning. That's why I love this job. Okay? Speaking of jobs, a lot of your kids are looking to maybe have a quote-unquote job like this because it's a really cool one. I'm really excited for this. Marcellus Howard, okay? If you are not familiar with Marcellus Howard, like I said, you might be a millennial like me, or maybe a smidge older than a millennial, but Marcellus Howard, a Sacramento native, Kings fan, has turned himself and his brand into one of the biggest basketball content creators in the world. Okay? In the world. He's one of the biggest names in basketball content creation, social media. He has over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, over 2 million subscribers and followers across all platforms. This dude is really doing it. So when your kid is at home trying to figure out this streaming thing, trying to figure out this YouTube thing, he or she is probably watching what Marcellus Howard has done. He's created a behemoth, and now they have these creator leagues that they're doing. But in his heart of hearts, Marcellus is a Kings fan. And Marcellus is going to join us at 10:30 to talk about his origin story and, of course, talk about his beloved Sacramento Kings. We're gonna spend a good amount of time with Marcellus. I'm very excited, as you can tell. We're also going to discuss how he's going to maybe hop on a couple times throughout the season and check his notes on what the Kings are doing, how he feels about Keegan. He's sat there during these creator leagues that they have. He's sitting there doing play-by-play, interviewing Kyrie Irving, all from creating something on his own. And it's really a big note as Draymond kind of coined this new media / old media thing. So we are bridging the gap today between new media and old media. And Marcellus Howard is going to join us in 20 minutes, and I'm really excited for that. And you're not going to have to wait very long for that. And you're not going to have to hear a lot of commercials because we are in the middle of a 30-minute commercial-free segment as we do at the top of every hour. Look, if you are feeling down about the Kings, maybe a free night at the Kimpton Sawyer will make you feel a little bit better. We're still giving away those tickets. We're still giving you a chance, 916-339-1140. So we're going to have that keyword for you at 12 o'clock. You're also going to get $200, a gift card to Revival, and you are also going to get, like I said, it could be a good night. Russell Westbrook's old team, the Oklahoma City Thunder, November 7th, lower level tickets to that. It's I talk about a behemoth of a content creation machine that Marcellus Howard has created. This is a behemoth of a prize that we are giving to you just for being loyal listeners and loyal viewers to Sactown Sports. But it was very confusing yesterday. I'm going to be honest with you guys. It was a little overwhelming because we're going to play the sound. Zach Lowe with Bill Simmons. He's roasting, absolutely roasting the Kings. And it was before the Russell Westbrook information. It was before that came out. So everybody's sharing that. He is just destroying the Sacramento Kings. Then the Kings double down and go get Russell Westbrook. And everyone's just literally pointing and laughing at the Kings. And I felt bad, man. I felt bad and I felt confused because I'm not going to sit here and pretend like I'm a Sacramento native like a Marcellus Howard or like a Carmichael Dave. But like I said, I got my new kiddo here. She's a Sacramento native. She was born out here in Sacramento. And I do feel a connection, obviously, doing the show every day. And it was a really confusing day because I didn't know whether to feel bad. And I know social media is not reality. I didn't know whether to feel bad about what's going on with the Kings because a lot of Kings fans were saying, good. We want you to make fun of us. We want you to make fun of us. And I do want to know, 916-339-1140, if you truly, truly feel like that. Because it's easy to say that on social media when somebody is already making fun of you, right? It's the equivalent of you reach out to a special someone, she friend zones you, then you go tell your friends, well, I didn't like her that much anyway. I didn't like her like that anyway. I was just checking in. Okay, brother. We know you did. You got friend zone. It happens. All right? But now on the back end, now you're going to say, well, you didn't like her like that. Dude, you've been talking about her all week. That's what I kind of feel like is going on, but I can't speak for those that have been here throughout their whole lives. Those that are, I get not enjoying, but saying, good, I'm glad the Kings are getting made fun of. Do you really feel like that?
All right, we got to go to our list of different types of Kings fans. We got to decide what classification of Kings fan is this right here? Is this nihilistic Kings fan? Mm-hmm. Is this self-loathing Kings fan?
It's kind of self-loathing.
Okay. Could also be dead inside. That's one of our categories of Kings fans.
Yeah.
Still self-loathing feels like. Here, I'll just read them off real quick for people who are new to the show.
Yes, this is a refresher. We created this list during the summer, by the way.
We also will add any new ones that you guys can think of. But our list of different types of Kings fans are, what are we doing? Realistic, optimistic, pessimistic, unrealistic, blissful, delusional, self-loathing, nihilistic, anarchist, apathetic, quote, I've been a Kings fan for 40 years, ... Down bad, self-loathing, we already said that one, nostalgic for 2002, just happy to be here, just happy they aren't in Seattle, skeptically hopeful, dead inside, we're winning 40 games this year, doom and gloom, get rid of the beam, De'Aaron Fox was right, complains but doesn't know what they actually wanted them to do, sell the team, masochist, and that local guy Drew.
Dave is like 4 of those, by the way.
Dave has been 4 of those in the last 24 hours.
Yeah, and you've been doing some shows with him, so you know even better than I do. And obviously, we had some fun with that list. A lot of it is redundant. The self-loathing piece of it, I do think that there is, I guess, a respect level when you are a fan of a bad team, right? And it kind of becomes a part of your personality. Like, if the Kings turned it around, I don't even know how Kings fans would react. Obviously, they'd be, over the moon. But it's been like this for so long, it's almost like this is what you expect. And I see a lot of, I'm good with roasting the Kings because, it will get back to the owner, whatever it is. I just think that's a kind of futile approach because I don't know, and I'm not going to speak on it. I just don't know how that ends, right? Hey, if Zach Lowe continues to make fun of the Kings, maybe ownership will make a change, or maybe I think it wouldn't be ownership making a change as far as personnel, but at the very least, stay out of it, right? Let Scott Perry do his thing. And maybe one of these days leading up to the trade deadline, we'll find out where Scott Perry falls, how he feels about this team based on where they're at. They still haven't lost any games yet. I know yesterday was brutal, and at least we did get to watch it on normal TV, but yesterday was brutal. I wish it was just on a laptop because it would be, it would have been easier to watch with how ugly it was. Has Dennis Schroeder made a 3 this whole preseason?
I saw you tweet that and I laughed.
What are we doing?
I mean, that was pretty funny.
So I understand it's dark times right now, and there's not a ton I can say to make you feel better. All I know is that we will be here for you every single day. I'm not going to get into the logistics of, my career and contracts and stuff, but just know that we're in a really good spot as far as my commitment to you, to this fan base. And I just wanted to say that because we got some news last week and we're very excited about it. So with that being said, maybe that's how I'm feeling going into this season, even though a lot of people are feeling the exact opposite just due to how the Kings look right now. Number one, when they actually play basketball. And number two, everything else that comes with it, the Westbrook, the jokes, the memes, all of that. What's up, Kyle? You're cracking up in there.
Yeah, first of all, yes, congratulations to you. Very happy that you're going to be around, all that good stuff. The thing that made me laugh mid-sentence involuntarily is that Dennis Schroeder is 0 for 8 from the three-point line.
I mean, I don't remember it. I don't remember that shot looking so, not mechanical, just so slow. Just slow. And I'm telling you right now, Sabonis, I'm praying for you. Stop with, and I get it, it's preseason, but what I'm worried about is he's going to forget the slow version of his shot because all he's doing is this quick trigger stuff. Brother, nobody's around you. You don't need to shoot it quickly. Nobody is checking for you shooting the basketball. You had one good season shooting threes like a free throw. There's no reason to change how you shoot until they come out there and guard you. I feel like he should have had another season of shooting the way he shot, right? And maybe what he's saying, maybe Kyle, his thought process was at the end of last season, I don't even know if they were guarding him, but he did kind of fall off a cliff a little bit shooting the three ball. I think that was just with all the changes that were made. But nobody, you could make, how many would Domantas Sabonis have to make in a game for the center or whoever's guarding him to sell out on him on a three and leave the paint?
I would say 3 1/4.
I don't know about a quarter.
I mean, you got it because you got to do them back to back, right? It's like fool me once, shame on you. Fool me twice. Okay, third time.
You make
all right,
two.
now
You make 2.5. They're not coming for you. I would say this: if you make 4.5, I'm telling you, not even 3, dude. 4.5. Honestly, in that same half, they would close out on you. Come the second half, you know what they're saying at halftime? He's going to cool off. So I don't know why he is doing this quick trigger thing when it's like flinching when nobody's around you. You fixed an issue you're attempting to fix an issue that doesn't exist. And I know he has not made one.
We could look that up too. By the way, Dennis Schroeder shooting 27% from the field during the preseason. Let's look up Domantas Sabonis.
I know he has not made one.
Let's see. In 3 games, Domantas Sabonis is 0 for 10.
Enough.
That's
I feel like I'm talking
to
baby Sal's number 1 when she's playing with the loudest toy because her sister's trying to sleep, and she does it on purpose. I know it. That's how these 2-year-olds get down. Enough. I gave you 5 minutes to play with the toy. You haven't picked up that toy in a year, but now your sister's trying to nap. You want to play with the toy. Enough. Domantas Sabonis, enough with the quick threes. There's no point. There's no reason.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who told him he needs to do that?
That's crazy that Dennis Schroeder and Domantas Sabonis are combined 0 for 18 from 3 in the preseason.
I don't know who told him he needs to do that. They need to stop. They need to absolutely stop. But that is not even number 1, number 2, number 3 on the priority list of issues. And this goes beyond what they're joking about on Twitter or whatever the case is. The reality is that this team has not played well throughout the preseason. They're still winless. So what are they now, Kyle? 0-7. Their last 7 preseason games, they are 0-7.
They are 1-11 if you go all the way back to a few years ago. I guess we could do this now, too. I put together some things that... Allen, do you want to know what was happening in the world of sports the last time the Kings won a preseason game?
Man, so what, 2-3 years ago?
Yes.
I don't even know. Was I a father?
I'm going to list a few things here for you. This was the one I put at the end. Allen Stiles technically was not a Sactown Sports employee. You were doing shows here.
Yeah, I was auditioning.
You were technically, I think we kind of knew you were going to be doing the show, but you were technically still not a full-time employee here. Some other fun ones. Jordy Fernandez was still an assistant coach at the Kings. Luka hadn't sat on Malik Monk's leg yet.
Man.
These are some fun ones. Bruce Bochy's Texas Rangers had not yet won a World Series.
Ridiculous.
Bruce Bochy now gone.
Yeah.
Damian Lillard had still never played a game for the Bucks.
That's wild.
The Bucks were coached by Adrian Griffin at that point. James Harden was still a Philadelphia 76er the last time. He had told those Chinese children that Daryl Morey was a liar, though, at this point.
That's your favorite.
It's one of the greatest things that's ever happened. And my favorite personal one, the best record in the NFL, the last time the Kings won a preseason game, belonged to the 5-1 Miami Dolphins.
That was when they were hot. They were sexy.
Yes.
And now Tua is apologizing. And Mike McDaniel and his ankles are on the way out.
Yeah, the best record in the NFL was the Miami Dolphins the last time the Kings won a preseason game.
Crazy.
It's so it's very funny.
Yeah. Back to, I wanted to just give a shout to the Keegan Murray naysayers out there. And I get it. Sometimes it's just easier to be negative. I got to fight it myself, to be completely honest with you. We talk about the text line all the time. I'll see 8,000 really positive texts and then see a negative text, and I think about it not all day, but I got to respond to that person, whatever it is. So I understand it's easier to be negative than positive, but a lot of people didn't realize this note. Keegan Murray, the first rookie in NBA history with 200 or more threes. Okay, and I know that season people might say it might have been an outlier, but you don't get outliers like that. And we'll see what happens as the Kings look to build around him. You really don't want to miss. If you missed Sam Amick on the morning show, we're going to have the most important, in my opinion, pieces of that. Sam Amick also put out a heater of an article. Kyle, was that last night or this morning?
This morning.
Yeah, the last 24 hours. Sam has been very busy. Can't wait to see Sam at the game.
I think he actually hit send right before hopping on the morning show because it released at 8 in the morning.
So we have that for you. That's going to be in the 11 o'clock hour as we go Kings heavy. It's going to be a lot of Kings today, but we will try to put your kids through college with a little prop talk in the 1 o'clock hour. Does Kyle stay hot? Does Allen finally give up running back receiving yards because he's getting made fun of by his friends now? Schmallen, by the way.
Today's the day to probably give it up. It's
Jaylen Warren,
which you don't even know if it's going to be him.
Stay tuned. Yeah, Schmallen has gotten burned on the other other running back getting those receiving yards. So that's at 1 o'clock. It's a great show coming up for you. Like I said, Sam Amick info, more details on Keegan Murray, more details hopefully on Domantas Sabonis. We recap what in the world happened in that preseason game. But when we return, one of the biggest basketball content creators in the world, dare I say, in the universe, Marcellus Howard joins us, and his 2 million subscribers and followers. You're not going to want to miss this conversation. He did it out the mud from Sacramento. We talk about his path, and we talk about his connection to the Sacramento Kings and how he's feeling about the Beam Team. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Elk Grove Honda.
I'm Ophelia Young in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Patchy fog is clearing this morning for a drier and sunnier day with highs in the mid-60s. Tonight will be cold with lows in the mid-40s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
At Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. Whether you purchase a new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, Elk Grove Honda has the right Honda at the right price. In the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard, or elkgrovehonda.com.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm a plumber and needed to get work in the door.
So business was going down the drain?
Yeah, I went to Staples. They printed yard signs, business cards, even flyers to leave at supply stores.
But at what cost, man?
Well, I saved $125 on my order, and now I'm booked solid. Boom!
Back at ya. For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
With Progressive's collision coverage, my family gets up to $1,000 for vet bills if I'm injured in a car accident. And that makes this Chihuahua really feel like part of the family. What's that? I don't sound like a Chihuahua? Oh, I'm sorry. What exactly am I supposed to sound like? I guess all Chihuahuas are high-strung, riding around in expensive designer purses. Actually, I prefer riding in cars. So I appreciate that my family protects me with Progressive's pet collision coverage. Okay, maybe I am a little high-strung. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Not available in all states. Coverage for dogs and cats is included with the purchase of collision coverage and is subject to policy terms.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified, sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
The statewide special election is November 4th. All registered voters will receive their ballot in the mail. Check to make sure you're registered correctly at elections.saccounty.gov or call toll-free 800-762-8019.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance supervisor at a manufacturing facility, he knows keeping the line up and running is a top priority. That's why he chooses Grainger. Because when a drive belt gets damaged, Grainger makes it easy to find the exact specs for the replacement product he needs. And next-day delivery helps ensure he'll have everything in place and running like clockwork. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping one day of insane DeWalt deals on October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits will be at insanely low prices. Spend $1,000 on DeWalt products and get $75 off your order instantly. Spend $100 and get a lotto scratcher with prizes up to $1,000 off your next order. That's one day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Hey man, gaining weight, dragging throughout the day, losing your drive, it could be your testosterone. The team at Revive Men's Health Sacramento gets men back on track with the energy and drive they've been missing. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations, and witness to hundreds of success stories.
I've seen guys come in worn out, discouraged, and just not themselves. A few months into treatment, they're standing taller, speaking with more confidence. It's like watching someone come back to life, like a light switch gets turned back on. When a spouse says, "Thank you, I really have my partner back, better than before," that's the moment it all clicks for me, and that's why I do what I do.
Since 2011, Revive Men's Health has helped more than 120,000 men regain their energy and drive. Start your story today with an in-clinic visit or a secure video appointment. Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000. Or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda. Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com. Your one-stop Honda shop.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
10:30, taking you up to 2 p.m. as always. And we are now joined by my guy. We've been waiting to have him on. I know you are so busy, Marcellus, so we appreciate you for coming on. Basketball content creator, videos, playing basketball. Now you're playing other sports. You're a crazy athlete. Over 2 million subscribers and followers across platforms. I want to be you when I grow up, Marcellus, and new girl dad as well. So you're just my guy at this point. Marcellus Howard, thank you for joining us, man.
Absolutely, man. I'm honored. I'm absolutely honored.
Let's start here. So like I've been telling everyone, you are one of the biggest names in basketball content creation, social media, all the subscribers. You hit that 1 million mark on YouTube, 2 million subscribers and followers across all platforms. Really, really doing it. Let's get a little bit of your origin story because, you know, I'm telling people that are listening and watching the show, you might have some kids that are doing the streaming thing, or Dad, I want to be a YouTuber, and they probably are watching Marcellus do his thing. So let's get a little bit of an origin story on you and how you got started doing what you do.
Man, I'm born and raised from South Sacramento, California. So I've been engulfed in just in the Kings culture, cowbell kingdom since I've been a kid, man, especially with my family. So growing up around basketball my whole life. My favorite player growing up, ironically, was Bobby Jackson. He was one of the reasons why I got into basketball, Bobby Jackson and Allen Iverson. And going into the content, it was more so of I was always a guy that was just goofy and stuff behind the scenes. So I started vlogging around my high school about 2011. And then I was like, let me just try some basketball stuff 4 years later, around 2015. And then it just took off, and I never looked back since then.
Man, I mean, look, I know nowadays it's hard to get started, but anybody listening right now, if you are feeling what Marcellus is putting down, go ahead and turn on that camera. It's a lottery ticket at this point, Marcellus. That's what I keep telling him. That's what I keep telling him. Let's get into the Kings a little bit. I don't know how much you saw, but yesterday was rough. Okay, I mean, Zach Lowe, the whole crew, I said the Kings were basically a piñata yesterday. Before we get to Keegan, the Russell Westbrook thing and where the Kings are, how are you feeling about your Sacramento Kings?
I have mixed feelings about this, man. The reason I say it is because I was optimistic about the DeMar DeRozan signing, optimistic about the Zach LaVine signing. But the thing about the Zach LaVine thing that was interesting was we offered him a contract when he was a restricted free agent a few years ago. So I knew we always had our sights and eyes on him. So that didn't surprise me. But what surprised me was the DeMar DeRozan addition because of the Keegan Murray like we're in the Keegan Murray era where we're trying to develop him. So I thought that was going to stunt his growth immediately. With the Westbrook, it's interesting because now we moved Devin Carter back to the third, fourth point guard. So it's like, now what does this look like for the Sacramento Kings moving forward? I'm not necessarily sure, but I do know this, though, man. We have an ex-MVP, NBA superstar, Hall of Famer coming to the Sacramento Kings. He's only missed the playoffs, I believe, once in the last 10 years, something like that. So he's a proven winner to get us to the dance. So I'm excited to see what he can do with the Sacramento Kings roster. And he also plays as a bonus in OKC, wins a bonus, was I believe a rookie or a second year. So we got a little bit of chemistry there too. So I'm excited to see it.
Talking to Marcellus Howard, basketball content creator extraordinaire, new girl dad. By the way, how's the sleep been? Because I'm on number 2, and I don't even know what sleep is. How has it been for you transitioning with obviously your job? The camera's always on. The season's coming up. I saw you doing interviews with Kyrie over the summer. You were doing stuff with Summer League and All-Star. So how has that been, that transition, adding a little one to the mix?
It's been cool, man. Actually, the past few weeks, we got a good routine down. Her bedtime usually, we try to get her to take a quick nap between 7 to 8, and then she'll wake up for like another hour where we'll do some like development stuff at night, like a routine stuff, dim the lights, and then she'll be asleep usually about 10:30, and she'll get about 5 to 6 hours until like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
And then we wake up, change her diaper, feed her, and then put her back to sleep, and then she'll wake up again around 7 or 8. So it's been really good, man. We've been blessed. She's a great baby.
There you go.
Yeah, and with the Kyrie thing too, it's been a crazy summer. It's been a blessed summer. I've been prayed up a lot, and just, God's been answering my prayers, and I'm still putting the work and keeping my head down. And I'm going to China with Kyrie, to doing stuff with Anta all summer, All-Star. It's been a phenomenal past 12 months for me, for sure, in the family.
Talking to Marcellus Howard, one of the biggest basketball content creators in the universe, dare I say, and started out here in Sacramento. So like we said, it was a huge day for the Kings yesterday. Did you have any issue? And I'm like, it's not your money. Some of these Kings fans, well, they gave Keegan too much. If you move on from Keegan, then you're mad that you don't have young talent. Did you have any problems with the Keegan Murray signing and the amount of money, getting that Trey Murphy money? Because I think it's right where it should have been.
I think it's right where it should be. Like I said, I think when we signed DeRozan, we didn't really get to see the full growth of Keegan last year. So I think, I know he's going to be out for a few months here with the thumb surgery, but I do like that because it locks Keegan in with us for 6 years. There's no opt-in in that contract. So I'm actually excited to see what we can do with Keegan Murray, because we're kind of betting on this. So let's say if he becomes a mega star eventually, like a superstar, we got him kind of for a cheap discount for around $28 a year. I like it.
Talking to Marcellus Howard. Marcellus, like I said, I know you're running around, but the last one for you, and we're going to try to have you on a couple times throughout the season, check in based on what the Kings are doing, so I'm really excited for that. How can this team defy the Zach Lowe's, defy all the haters, and sneak in to a 6, 7, 8 seed? What is the path for them to do that?
This is my hot take, okay? A lot of people probably disagree. I think we have to start Russell Westbrook, my personal opinion. I don't know how Russ and Malik Monk are going to fare off the bench together.
Yeah.
I think we have to start Russell Westbrook some way. We got to figure that out. That's just my personal opinion. But Russ usually is successful when you put shooters around him. So it's really interesting to see how we can build around that with Dennis and Russ and Zach and DeMar as a bonus. I do think a trade is on the horizon for sure, because this roster right now kind of doesn't make sense from top to bottom. But I am super excited, I would say, about Nick Clifford. I think he's going to be an X factor for us getting into that 6 or 7, 8 seed, especially with Keegan Murray being out for a period of time.
Marcellus Howard, be sure to follow him, subscribe, YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, X, everything. Marcellus, I know you are an inspiration to a lot of kids in the area and throughout the basketball community, throughout the streaming community, throughout the social media community. It is awesome to see what you've been doing, and we know you've been putting in the work, man, and I have a feeling you're just getting started, and we're really proud of everything that you've been doing, putting on for the city of Sacramento. Can't wait to have you on again, and we will do this again soon, my guy. Thank you so much.
Yes, I appreciate you, man. God bless you.
Same to you, Marcellus Howard. thank you so much for joining us. And yeah, that was great stuff. Over 1 million subscribers on YouTube, 2 million between YouTube and all of the other platforms. I know the audio might have been a little bit wonky there, but I also knew that Marcellus was up against it as far as his time constraints. So we did not want to chance timing it. I thought that we could still hear him enough. So we'll definitely have him back on and continue to just build this relationship with him. Appreciate Marcellus taking that time, because I know he's really busy running around. I can only imagine, I remember when I had number one, and yeah, doesn't seem like there's a lot of time in the day. And now there's even less time in the day. So shout out to Marcellus Howard. And yeah, I was doing some deep dives on his YouTube yesterday, getting ready to interview him today. And it's funny how it's just evolved a little bit. Now there's certain ones where he'll be playing basketball, a 1v1, 3v3. He'll play in certain leagues from time to time. Then he'll have videos where it's just him and his crew chilling and things like that. So to watch his growth has been really, really like I said, inspiring and motivating to everybody, man. I mean, nowadays, we see the Kenny Beechams of the world. He just got signed to NBC. There is not, when I was coming up, I'm 35 years old. When I was coming up, there was one path, right? You essentially got to be a writer, or somebody just got to like you. You find your way on radio. Then maybe after radio, you find your way on TV, and that's media. That's it. Right now, there are a plethora of different ways to be able to get it done and to make a real career out of this stuff. And the sky's the limit. And Marcellus is a huge, huge example of the sky being the limit. He's about to go to China with Kyrie and represent Anta. I mean, that's nuts.
Dang, that's actually really cool.
Yeah, that's good stuff. So we'll talk to Marcellus a couple more times throughout the season, check in on him. Let's check in on what the Kings did during the preseason game last night. It was ugly, but it don't count. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
I'm Scott Hansen, host of NFL Red Zone. Lowe's knows Sundays are for football. That's why we're here to help you get your next DIY project done, even when the clock isn't on your side. Whether that's a new Filtrete filter or Bosch and Cobalt power tools, Lowe's has everything you need to feel like the MVP of DIY. So get it done and earn your Sunday. Shop now, in-store and online. Lowe's, official partner of the NFL.
Progressive has great customer service, and it's easy to reach us because great and easy is the way to be. Like salads. Great for you, and so easy you can put any group of veggies in a bowl and it's a salad. A full carrot with a head of cabbage? Weird, but still a salad. 1 radish and a couple of green beans? Also a salad. 14 blueberries, half an onion, and a sunchoke? Odd, yes, but an odd salad. So contact Progressive's customer service by phone, app, or online. It's great and easy, just like salad. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates.
So my mother is thinking of switching from Verizon to Pure Talk, but she's worried the deal sounds too good to be true. Michael, she said, how can those Pure Talk people offer me the same basic service as Verizon for so much less money? I said, Ma, go ask Google how much Verizon spends on advertising and promotions. A few seconds later, my mother said, oh my goodness, $12 billion a year? That must be a typo. I'll tell you what I told my mom. It's not a typo. Verizon spends $12 billion a year on advertising and promotions, and their customers are paying for it. Well, Pure Talk doesn't spend that kind of money on commercials. Trust me, I would know. That's why they can offer you and my mother unlimited talk, text, and plenty of data on a crazy fast 5G network for just $25 a month. And if you're a business owner, you could really save a fortune. Dial pound 250, say the words Mike Rowe, and you'll get an additional 50% off your first month. That's pound 250 Mike Rowe. Pure Talk. Everything you need and nothing you don't.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. You've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Born in 1892 to a socially prominent family, she was the consummate athlete, proficient in golf, tennis, marksmanship, swimming, and car racing. Many considered her the greatest horsewoman of the century. She was a pioneer in the field of golf course development with 3 world-class courses on her resume: the Women's National Golf and Tennis Club, Cypress Point, and Pasatiempo. Working for SFB Morse of Pebble Beach fame led to her second golf course development, which many consider to be the greatest golf course in the world, Cypress Point, where she developed a lifelong friendship and professional relationship with famed architect Alistair McKenzie. Pasatiempo in Santa Cruz was her third development, where she hosted the likes of Bobby Jones, Will Rogers, Babe Saharias, and more. Today, her place is alongside many others in the World Golf Hall of Fame. Congratulations, Marion Hollins, a visionary golf course architect and pioneer of the game. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Listen to the 49ers Red Zone Report daily, brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza, the official pizza of the 49ers. Mountain Mike's Pizza, pizza the way it ought to be.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
We are back, and if you're in the YouTube, you can see Marcellus is in the YouTube apologizing for the audio. Yeah, we'll get it all figured out. Don't even trip. It happens. I knew that Marcellus was up against it, so I made the executive decision to just power through. Apologies if it was tough to hear. I didn't want to restart it when we're not really sure what the issue is, and then after that, he's short on time. So that was my thought process, but we power on. Marcellus will be back on throughout the season, and we will get his thoughts on all things Kings and more. 916-339-1140. We're going to open up the phone lines here for how you're feeling about the Sacramento Kings. Were you a part of the social media bloodbath last night, yesterday? Did you find yourself on one side or the other? Do you have no idea what we're talking about, and you just have an opinion based on what it is, right, and what the Kings have done? The phone line is open for you, 916-339-1140. The same number you will use when we give you that secret keyword in order to possibly win that free stay at the Kimpton Sawyer and the $200 to Revival, as well as tickets, lower level tickets to Kings Thunder. So we are figuring everything out, and we move forward, and we appreciate Marcellus taking the time. And yeah, it's all good, man. It happens. You know, what's funny, I think it was, remember, what was it called? Off night. When I did off night, I remember I was pressed for time. And last year I was doing off night. It was a podcast that we had, and it was just an extra opportunity. You know, maybe it was 2 years ago. Actually, it was 2 years ago, and I felt like I was still new in the area. So we decided to fire up a separate podcast that I would do. I think it was like every Wednesday. It was whenever the Kings didn't have a game. That's why it was called Off Night.
I remember that. You can still find some of those.
You
on
can still
YouTube.
find them. And I'll never forget, I don't know, it was the echo cancellation, something was clicked. And you got, not a lot of time. My wife is saying, so you've been doing this show. Now you're going to come home and do another show, right? Just so people know who you are. Fine, but, we got some limited time here. Baby number one was a little bit younger. So I had limited time is my point. And I'll never forget, I did one. And it's such a helpless feeling, I would say, when especially if you're live as well, like when I've done podcasts with Matt George or wherever. Kyle, actually, not even. When I was in PA. We made it all week, and the last 2 hours of the show, the roadcaster just said, I'm straight, dude. I'm cool. I've worked too hard. I'm clocking out. And I think I did, it wasn't on my phone, but I think we used
No, you called it. You called in.
Or I used my computer audio just to power through. It is a very helpless feeling. So Marcellus, you are all good, man. We've all been there.
Lord knows I've been there. Between the 1,000 podcasts I've done over the years and doing 1,000 radio shows, probably not 1,000. Let's say 700 radio shows over the years. Let's say over 2,000 hours of radio. Yes, this happens like all the time.
Exactly. So the video is crispy though. So good stuff from Marcellus. Be sure to check out all of his work on YouTube, on TikTok, and on really any social media platform that you can think of. The Kings preseason game, speaking of bloodbaths, it was basically the same thing. Okay, the Clippers, I've said this before, the Kings get owned by certain teams. The Clippers own the Kings. Can I say this about the Clippers? I'm afraid. I am afraid. That Clippers bench is insane. That Clippers bench is outrageous. You have John Collins, of course. Chris Paul seems to be way too comfortable. All right. You have all of these guys that could start on other teams. This is how you correctly ring chase, right? This is how you ethically ring chase. That's what you do. And Lopez, he did the same thing when he was on the Bucks. He destroyed.
Now he's a bench player.
Literally, he destroyed the Kings. 16 points, team high 16 points. Kawhi had 15. The Kings were so bad last night. We saw former Warriors draft pick, who was the last draft pick that people believed would be good simply because he was drafted to the Warriors, Patrick Baldwin Jr. I was just thinking, where the hell is Patrick? Because Ryan Rollins, everybody's talking about Ryan Rollins on the Bucks.
Oh, he's going to be the best guard on the team.
Right. Everybody is talking about Ryan Rollins on the Bucks. So I said, wait, they took Patrick Baldwin Jr. before Ryan Rollins. Where the hell is Patrick Baldwin Jr.? And I found out that he's on the Clippers scoring 2 points in 8 minutes. It was a shellacking last night. And I'm not trying to do the dance and be the company man. There was a lot going on. They ended up losing Sabonis late. They didn't have Keegan Murray, which they're not going to have Keegan Murray during the regular season, so we can't even count that. The Russell Westbrook stuff happened, so now everybody's thinking, okay, well, what's the rotation going to look like? I don't know. I'm not giving them a pass. They were embarrassing. Me personally, I'm just waiting to see what they look like with Westbrook. I don't know if it's going to be any better, but all I know is that, what was it? Dennis Schroeder and Domantas Sabonis are a combined 0 for about 18 from three-point land, which is concerning.
In the preseason, yes. And the Kings, the Portland game was its own unique situation, but that's now 2 Kings home preseason games where they're just like dead by the second quarter.
Yeah.
Like just blown out of the water by other teams. What's so funny about them playing the Clippers was the joke that I had yesterday about like, what's so infuriating is that the Kings are doing the unction, but they're doing the third best of the unctions. Because the Clippers...
Is it even third?
Probably. Depends how you feel about the Suns. But the Clippers are better and older. The Warriors are more talented and older, and the Kings are not as old as those teams and not as good as those teams. Like, they're taking the unction rejects and creating their own unction.
Well, did you see Dave he's still roasting, and basically Spencer Dinwiddie got released from Spencer Dinwiddie got released from the Hornets, and Dave said, "Great, bring him in."
Yeah. You know what? Spencer Dinwiddie Hornets tenure, the thing I'm always going to remember is him saying at Media Day, you know, this team is talented. We're good enough to be not a bottom 10 team. I was like, the standard for overachieving in Charlotte is we're not going to be a bottom 10 team.
Which is so funny because Charlotte, when LaMelo gets going, he nutmegged somebody yesterday and then threw an alley-oop, and they're rocking in Charlotte. LaMelo has got to be the best preseason first 20-game player maybe in the history of the NBA. This is what he does. So the Hornets getting rid of salary. You know what? We don't need that bum. We're just gonna be an AAU team. We're just gonna be out here running and gunning, and it's gonna be a party in Charlotte. We ain't gonna win games, but you know what? Everybody's going to buy NBA League Pass to watch us. Spencer, get your old self off the team, bro.
I'm not even going to lie. They're not even a League Pass team, though. That's League Pass teams are they're not going to be like last year's Raptors. That was a League Pass team because I was curious what Brandon Ingram and Grady Dick would look like.
It depends on your definition of League Pass. I think Hornets are a League Pass team until LaMelo, and I'm not joking about it, but LaMelo tends to miss time. So if that happens, then they no longer become a League Pass team, which has happened, every season he's played?
Yeah, pretty much. Except for the year he won Rookie of the Year.
Yeah.
So each of the last 4 seasons it's happened. But it's funny because normally the reputation, sometimes players like LaMelo, where he's been a part of our lives since he was 14 years old. Mm-hmm. People have known his name, and he's been famous for reasons good and bad since he was a child. And the style of play that he plays, if I were to say that's a empty calories or they're just doing AAU ball, it would feel like a diss on him because of his personality. But he's actually in the situation where he is the most empty calories player in the NBA because the Hornets have given him no support.
Yeah.
All he does is go out there and chuck because the Hornets have no better game plan.
Well, it's funny when you say that because that term gets thrown around with LaMelo, gets thrown around with Sabonis, gets thrown around with, I would say, Trae Young. And I know I'm the one always saying Trae Young is assist hunting. But it always comes, it's always an issue with the player, right? Or it's a negative connotation to the player. And the way you laid that out, Kyle, I thought was different because you're saying it's empty calories because of the team, right? Like Domantas Sabonis, if he had the perfect team around him, it wouldn't be empty calories.
Yeah,
if LaMelo Ball had, and look, we'll see what happens with Brandon Miller and some of the young guys. We saw them in Summer League. Maybe they hit on some of these guys. I mean, somebody got a hit. I mean, you missed on, Tajon Shalon's a miss, so that means somebody else got to be a hit. Maybe they start to figure it out. But I think it's a good note because so often we do the empty calories thing, but it's always the player's fault as if they're not trying to win. It comes off, when we say, hey, this person, and I don't know if it's because LaMelo's flashy, but hey, this person doesn't care, because Sabonis isn't. This person just cares about his stats. He doesn't care about winning. Well, aren't his stats trying to help winning? I mean, which stats don't help winning, right?
The problem is his usage rate has to be so high on that team that he is creating more highlights. Like, LaMelo is a flashy player, but because he has to have the ball so much, he's creating so many opportunities to be a highlight reel player. Mm-hmm. And also, even though he's putting up these numbers, the Hornets are still trash on offense.
916-339-1140. We see some calls coming in. We're going to get to the other side and break down Keegan Murray's contract. How are you feeling about it? Hey, he's staying, and we have some numbers that might make you feel better or worse. He's your guy, Sacramento, whether you like it or not. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Sacramento Kings basketball is back. Be there for opening night at Golden One Center on Friday, October 24th, when the Kings take on the Utah Jazz at 7 p.m. Following opening night, the Kings will take on the LA Lakers on October 26th and then the Golden State Warriors on November 5th. Don't miss these marquee matchups and more great games coming to Golden One Center this season. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat to be part of the action.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khdk.com.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
For 77 years, the Keys family from Naturewood Home Furnishings has been serving families just like yours and mine. Hi, I'm Frank LaRosa with Golf to Go. The Naturewood team takes great pride and significant effort to offer Northern California families a vast selection of home furnishings, most of which are made right here in this country. The kitchen table, which we purchased so many years ago, speaks to the enduring quality of the Naturewood product lines. We treasure memories made seated around that table with family and friends for birthday celebrations, school projects, and many late-night meals when the day just got away from us. Naturewood has provided thousands with home furnishings that not only last for generations, but also lead to everlasting memories of cherished times. Visit Naturewood Home Furnishings now during their 77th anniversary sale and get started making your own brand of memories. Meet the Keys family at Naturewood Home Furnishings off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Capital Casino, Sacramento's #1 poker room with primetime football. It's back. Capital Casino is giving away $500 per game in high-hand bonuses for every Sunday, Monday, and Thursday night primetime game. Offering the best food, best service, and the best action with the most variety of games in the region and conveniently located at 411 North 16th Street in downtown Sacramento. For more information, log on to capital-casino.com and please gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey man, gaining weight, low energy, lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
KHTK HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
Your home for Kings basketball for over 25 seasons.
Hammer time thrown down by the league. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports, 1140. Your home for Kings talk and so much more.
Live and local.
Allen Stiles on Sactown Sports.
1 hour down, 3 to go. 916-339-1140. We are an hour away from the keyword today for the Kimpton Sawyer. And that free night that you are going to be given if you win, along with $200 to Revival, a very sleek social spot in Sacramento, as well as 2 tickets lower level to Kings Thunder November 7th. That's what we have for you. And
just learned this. Apparently that's a cup game. So
oh Lord.
I guess you'll get to see a specialty court or something.
You get to see it.
Does anyone care about that anymore? No.
Since you can't touch the Michelob Ultra, I don't care.
I don't even know who's in the group anymore.
Nah, man. What a dud.
Yeah.
What a useless, what a waste of everyone's time.
Well, I mean, Amazon probably paid a bunch of money to stream all the games.
Yeah.
That's probably why they created it.
What a waste of everyone's time.
Yeah, so, hey, not only do you get $200
Right.
and a stay at the Kimpton
That's
Sawyer,
right.
it's a chance for the Kings to make a charge for their first trophy
Yeah.
in franchise history.
That would have been funny enough. Now, their group is really difficult. I know. What is it? It's like the Thunder, the Timberwolves, and somebody else.
I genuinely couldn't tell you.
About two teams better than them, and then one team and then maybe the Suns.
The Suns and the Jazz.
Oh, that's not bad. So it's Suns, Jazz,
Timberwolves, and Thunder.
Okay, so I forgot. Okay, so dang. Okay, so Timberwolves and Thunder.
Timberwolves, Thunder, Suns, Jazz.
Because you know what would be the most Kings thing ever for this season, as everyone is getting roasted, because nobody cares about the cup now. They would win the cup.
No,
they would win the cup.
Allen, if they made it to the semifinal of the cup, I mean, the cup would be the most important thing that's ever happened to the Sacramento Kings.
No, in Sacramento, yes, but in the nationally, because you can't even touch the Michelob Ultra. Nationally, it would be another reason to roast the Kings.
No, I disagree. I think Amazon's going to try and sell the hell out of this NBA Cup.
Kyle, they try. Like I said, could they touch the Michelob Ultra, or did Darvin Ham say don't touch it?
Is Darvin Ham still in Milwaukee?
I
think it'd be funny if Darvin Ham just kept switching teams, and every time they won, he had to keep he was the gatekeeper of the Michelob.
Nobody cares about it. And so that would be perfect for the Kings to win. I'm telling you right now. And you know what? If I were a King, any Kings fans out there should just literally say, screw you, I'm going to enjoy this.
I do have a theory, though, that the NBA Cup is not going to be as popular as the first year, but it's going to be more popular than last year this year, because the reason they kept hyping and hyping and hyping it up that first year and made the Lakers put up the banner was because they were trying to sell it to Amazon or some partner who was going to buy it. And then once they agreed to the deal in July, ESPN was like, we don't have to sell this cup. It's going to Amazon. We don't care. You know, all these games on ESPN and Turner. Turner was like, screw you. Why do we care? Right. And ESPN was like, we're not even going to have the rights to this thing next year. So why are we trying to sell it? So I do think Amazon's going to do a better job of trying to get people excited about the cup.
Hey,
but
we'll see.
It's still not going to be anything exciting.
We'll see. I mean, it's early on. Maybe the Kings get lucky and they can get into the knockout round and lose to the Pelicans again. There's always that. 916-339-1140. Okay, Keegan Murray, you know who can afford this Kimpton Sawyer giveaway? He can afford a lot of nights at the Kimpton Sawyer. Keegan Murray, I'm not pocket watching, but $140 million 5-year extension gets $18 million more than Jabari Smith Jr., who, yes, their numbers have been very, very similar, but I have maintained their importance to their respective teams not as similar as the numbers suggest. He's signed through 2030, 2031, no player option. Most he's projected to make in any 1 year is $31.8 million, or 16% of the salary cap. Keegan is only the third Kings draft pick since 2008 to sign a second contract with the team. DeMarcus Cousins, De'Aaron Fox. That's insane. That's actually insane.
It seems crazy to just say it out loud, but yes, Keegan is the third player the Kings have drafted in 15 years that has signed a second deal.
Yeah, because I'm just thinking, obviously, the easy comp, since 2008, the easy comp is the Warriors, and off the top of my head, that whole core.
Steph
right?
was 2009.
Right, so that whole core, all three of them, because Steph was the first.
Yeah, Clay was taken after the Kings took.
But let's say outside of those Hall of Famers. So those three, Jordan Poole, because he got punched.
Yeah, Jordan Poole, who they immediately traded.
It's kind of dry, though. Those three Hall of Famers, right? So just for this exercise, we can remove them, okay?
Yeah, but Looney. Yeah.
Those Poole, because he got punched, and Kuminga, which was...
It took a while to get there.
Next to it. So those are the three off the top of my head.
Moses Moody got one.
Oh, yeah. Moody, here you go. Please stay.
But again, you have to remove 3 Hall of Famers.
Okay, that's fair.
In order to
So
do
it's
this
really
game.
6.
And they still
tie
have
them.
more than the Sacramento Kings because we just listed 4.
All right, but okay, maybe the Hornets are. Forget the Warriors. Maybe the Hornets are some bad
It just
team.
genuinely seems impossible that 15 years, 3 picks got a second contract when, again, restricted free agency exists.
Yeah.
Like, they can't even leave without the team giving them permission to go sign with another team, which
Right.
is, by the way, exactly what happened with Isaiah Thomas when he was coming up on a second contract with the Kings. They just let him walk.
Yeah.
So it's crazy, genuinely crazy. But then there's weird ones like they traded Tyrese Halliburton. They gave up on Davion Mitchell.
Right. There's not a
through line through all.
No,
of
it doesn't mean that all these guys weren't good at basketball. It's just it's confusing,
Yeah.
right? It's more confusing.
That's why it seems genuinely impossible that Keegan is the 3rd King in 15 years to be drafted and sign a second contract.
Yeah. So that is, and by the way, speaking of bouncing around, I just can't ever. I can't ever talk about things and drafts that didn't work without yesterday reported from my guy, Mike Escato. The Cavs have waived Killian Hayes.
Jesus, man.
And you know what? I want to know what he's doing to still get in these buildings. Like, I understand, obviously, high draft pick, but he's got to be doing something, and then he gets in the building, and they say, oh, you're actually bad.
Okay, let's pull up the Killian Hayes Wikipedia here. Well, he was on Brooklyn last year. So
Yeah, if you can't get time in Brooklyn,
tried to go to the Cavs.
I think it's time for the Guangdong Tigers.
I probably is. He went to their G League team. I think he's probably going to end up on the Cavs G League team, would be my guess.
Yeah, he needs to hit up Trey Lyles and go to Spain or Olympiacos. But Keegan Murray is firmly in the NBA. And before you get upset about the numbers, okay, that we're throwing around for Keegan Murray, and call in 916-339-1140 if you are upset about the amount of money. Call in if you think it's the right amount of money. Here are other players, young players, making similar money. First, Josh Giddey, who actually should be making more than $25 million. It was just bad luck. It was just the bad year to be a restricted free agent. But Josh Giddey should be closer to 28, but he's getting $25 million. Next is Jaden McDaniel, I think Josh Giddey probably has a higher ceiling than Keegan just because he's as big or a little bit smaller than Keegan, but can handle the basketball. Keegan's obviously a much better shooter, but it's very comparable. And I do think, and Josh Giddey's got to be younger than Keegan for sure.
Yeah. Because Giddey was, Giddey
25.
No, I think Giddey's probably 24 if I had to guess. Let's see. Giddey is 23.
Yeah. So a little bit younger as well. But that's a good deal for the Bulls, right? That's how I would look at that. That's a bargain for the Bulls. Jaden McDaniels at $26 million. Obviously, the cap changes and things like that. That's a really good comp. I don't know that Keegan should be making more than Jaden McDaniels, but again, it's a really good comparison. Keegan is going to get asked to do more than Jaden McDaniels, maybe if not now, but eventually. But I could see somebody arguing that Keegan should not be making more than Jaden McDaniels. Devin Vassell, sorry if I'm not familiar enough with your game, but I don't know why you're making $27 million a year. Good for you, but I don't know why you're making $27 million a year. Trey Murphy, that's exactly where Keegan's at. I talked about this in the first segment. Trey Murphy had a breakout season because he was playing with plumbers and Jose Alvarado. The whole team was injured.
And Yves Missi.
He was taking 8,000 shots a game. So that's my argument there.
You joked about that earlier. Do you want to know who actually had the next highest shot total on the team? So you had...
It's got to be CJ.
So CJ was higher than him.
Yeah.
But obviously CJ's not there anymore. Brandon Ingram had the most on the team. He got traded midseason. Zion had the second most on the team. He only played 30 games. DeJounte Murray had 16. He only played 30 games.
Yeah.
After Trey Murphy, it was 9.9 for Jordan Hawkins.
Ridiculous.
And then 9 for Jose Alvarado. and 9.1 for Brandon Boston Jr.
Then didn't he kill the King? I feel like he killed the Kings.
He probably did.
I just remember the name. Good
let's
name.
just assume in those 6 losses they had against the Hornets, let's say, all right, against the Pelicans, let's just say Brandon Boston had one.
Next, we're getting into the real big money. Jalen Johnson. Everybody, look, he's an untouchable on the Hawks. He's supposed to take a huge leap. They think that's a dude. Right? They think that this kid is going to be a dude for them and maybe but a true cornerstone of that team. He's making more than Keegan, $30 million a year. Jalen Suggs, I think it's a bad contract. I think Jalen Suggs can't stay on the floor, and then the only time I see him is with Haley Van Lith, and that's fine. I don't mind it, but that's the only time I see him. This is the only time I see him. So I think that's a bad contract. Maybe he can stay on the floor this season, and we can see if he's actually worth $30.2 million a year. Jordan Poole, $32 million a year. I love the Poole party. That's a bad contract.
That is hilarious looking back at like how the market kind of went down. Like the Warriors did not have to do that at all.
But he got punched.
They didn't have to get.
He got socked.
Yeah, but they paid him number 3 money when they had no reason. With a team that had Steph Curry, Klay Thompson, and Draymond Green.
Yeah,
they decided to pay him number 3 money that no player after him got. Just crazy.
Yeah, there you go. Okay, I'd be careful with that one. Emmanuel Quickly, $32.5 million a year. That's a bad contract.
Yeah, that one.
That's a bad contract. He's another one. What did he play? 15 games last season?
Yeah.
It's a bad contract.
I will say when he plays, he's really good on offense. Like he could be a number 2 scoring option on a decent team.
The way
but
I look
he doesn't
at it,
play.
the way I look at it is this, and the last one is Jalen Green. Goodness gracious, $35 million a year. Terrible. Okay, terrible. The way I look at it is this, especially in this new CBA. Okay, this is a very simple way to look at this. In the new CBA, if these players were made available, how many teams and how excited would they be to bring on this player at this price point? Let's go backwards now. Let's start at the top. Hey, Jalen Green is available. Yeah, I'm good. I don't need Jalen Green at $35 million. Yeah, I'm good. I think a lot of teams would say, yeah, I'm good. Hey, Emmanuel Quickly is available. Oh, interesting. But $32.5 million a year, I think I can find somebody. I think I can get a Walter Clayton Jr. next season in the late first. I'm solid off that.
I'm going to need him to play 32 and a half games.
Can the brother play 50 games, okay? So right there. Jordan Poole, $32 million a year. Hey, Jordan Poole's available. I'm so good off that, but I appreciate it. Thank you so much for, these guys are making calls to teams. Hey, Jordan Poole's available. Good for him. That's really good for him. Hope that works out for you. Jalen Suggs. This is where it starts to get interesting. Jalen Suggs. Hey, Jalen Suggs is available. Man, maybe next year. Let's see if he can play a full season. Let's see if I see him on the court and not just next to Haley Van Lith. All right? Because Haley Van Lith, she barely played. They both played the same amount of games. Okay? Haley Van Lith couldn't get time on the Chicago Sky, who are awful, and Jalen Suggs been injured for what feels like 2 years. So I'm interested. Let's see if Jalen Suggs can stay on the floor. All right? Jalen Johnson. Hey, Jalen Johnson's available. Oh, Jalen Johnson at $30 million? Yeah, let's talk. Let's talk right now.
Get him through 2030?
Yeah, let's talk right now. Trey Murphy at $28 million. Let's talk. The Warriors are trying to just turn this into a reality, okay? They're trying to power through and just create their own reality. And a lot of people would do that for Trey Murphy. Keegan Murray's available. Well, we just had on Keith Smith. And you know what? As Kyle, I saw this as well. You put this in our chat. Keith Smith said that if Keegan was made available, every other team in the NBA would be calling for him, right? Keith Smith did a projection. And in that projection, do you want to know how much money Keith Smith said that Keegan Murray would make? I won't belabor the point. I'll tell you. It was $28 million a year. So let's put 2 and 2 together. Keith Smith comes on the show earlier this week. Go check it out on YouTube. And Keith Smith says, if Keegan was made available, this was prior to the extension, sure, but if Keegan was made available, every single team would call for Keegan. Now, based on the price point, that would be different if Keith Smith's projection had Keegan at $24 million, $23 million. Maybe that would change things. But Keith Smith thinking, I think he'd be available, and this is what I think this team would be willing to pay him or trade for him after he gets paid. What was the projection? Bing, bam, boom, $28 million. After that, Devin Vassell. Like I said, maybe I'm not familiar with Devin Vassell's game. Him, Sheldon Johnson, they're all the same dude to me on the Spurs. They're just all the same person.
Sheldon Johnson, who's that?
Or Keldon, that's what I'm saying. Right, what's that movie, The Big Bang Theory, Sheldon, whoever the heck are the others on the Spurs. I don't know why Devin Vassell needs $27 million, but bless him.
All the others who can't shoot and get paid too much.
Yeah, bless all the bricks on the Spurs. I need the bricks from the Spurs and the bricks from the Nuggets to have a 3-on-3, and I need Marcellus Howard to ref it. That's what I want to see.
We need play-by-play.
We need play-by-play because, I don't know why Devin Vassell needs $27 a year, so I couldn't tell you why anybody would trade for it. I wouldn't.
So your 3-on-3, sorry, this is very funny. Your 3-on-3 game would be Vassell, Keldon, and what, Harrison Barnes?
Vassell, Sheldon, and Sohan.
Against Peyton Watson, Hunter Tyson, and Julian Strother.
That's right. Just the ugliest matchup you could ever cook up. And Devin Vassell, good for you. Can I get Devin? I know I just said we have some stuff to celebrate here on the show, and we're really happy about how the Allen Stiles Show is going, and we're going to be with you for a while here. But can I get Devin Vassell's agent's number? Because how the heck did he get $27 a year?
I got to look up when he signed that deal, because was it pre-Wemby or post-Wemby? That's my question.
He would maybe, just like De'Aaron Fox, will we have to pay someone?
Well,
so here you go.
It wasn't that we have to pay someone. It was like before Wemby and before his injury, it was like, oh, this guy's the future. I mean, this guy, he's going to be the best player on the team.
Now he comes off the bench for Sheldon Johnson.
Yeah, so here you go. So Vassell signed a 5-year, $146 million contract with the Spurs on October 2nd, 2023. So this is before Wemby ever suited up a game for the Spurs.
And look, they're not paying anyone. It should have, and that's what ticks everybody off about the Spurs. Even if you get Wemby, it shouldn't have worked out so well. Like, I don't know. They probably are a bit annoyed that they gave Devin Vassell that money, but because they have so many rookies, they don't care.
Well, you know what I'm annoyed by? I would have taken Devin Vassell at that price on the Kings.
Well,
but they didn't want him.
Yeah.
They actively turned down taking Devin Vassell at that price point to add Zach LaVine at his price point.
Yeah, but that's because they're going to make the 8th seed.
We could have had
get the big shirts.
We could have had Vassell, Sheldon, and
somebody in the Sac chat said, "Who's Sheldon?" We're just joking. I called Keldon Johnson Sheldon Johnson.
Could have had Sheldon. We could have had him. I would have taken Sohan. I would have taken Champagnie.
Yeah.
Any of them. Just give me one of them.
Next on the list, if you are making calls, this player is now available. This is an obvious one. Hey, Jaden McDaniels is available at $26.2 million. Again, that's just good on the Timberwolves. I think Keegan has a higher ceiling than Jaden McDaniels offensively, but Jaden McDaniels has continued to improve each and every season. But yeah, that's without a doubt. Jaden McDaniels at 26.2. They make him available, and you're giving up some stuff. That's an easy one. He is the prototypical 3-and-D guy that everybody likes. He's handling the basketball more. He's shooting the basketball more. That's an easy one. Josh Giddey at $25 million. I mean, nobody was interested during restricted free agency. Nobody had money. But I would say if the Bulls are the Bulls, if something goes squirrely, I think that he would definitely have suitors for sure.
I mean, we definitely did a segment at some point during the summer that was like, can they land Kuminga and Giddey somehow?
Yeah, and just nobody take jump shots. How can we make our 3-point percentage worse?
I don't know. Giddey hit that half-court shot one time.
Yeah, and ruined their draft odds. So
ruined their chance to get Cooper Flag.
The larger point here is a lot of teams, I'm not going to say all of them, but a lot of teams would take Keegan Murray at $28 million. So I understand what he did his rookie year, and you thought that Keegan was going to be Jason Tatum or Kawhi, and I don't know who told you that, but he had over 200 threes his rookie year, the first rookie to do that. So some of that did change expectations for Keegan, but I'm telling y'all right now, this is a good deal, at least in my opinion, right? You can feel how you want to feel, but this is a good deal for me, and the way I look at this timeline is fairly simple, okay? The way I look at this timeline is I do not think that DeMar DeRozan will be on this team next season. That is a top, again, I believe LaVine was 16 and DeMar might have been 12th in field goal attempts. They were both in the teens, okay? So that is a top 16 in field goal attempts. Somebody taking that many shots, that is off the team at the end of this season, where Keegan is still on his rookie contract, that initial price point. Then next season, so that's more shots that would, in theory, go to Keegan Murray, and he would have more of a role offensively. And who knows? Maybe they are able to get a big wing and bring in a big wing from the draft or whatever the case may be going into this next season, right? After 2027, okay, after 2027, Zach LaVine is off the books. He might not stay off the books, but right now, Zach LaVine would be off the books. Those are more shots that would go to the up-and-comers, whoever's on the team at that point. So that would be going into the second year of Keegan at the big money price point. And once again, he's not getting max money. We just read off guys that can't even stay on the floor, making more money than Keegan. And I know Keegan, he's had little back stuff here and there, but he's been fairly available. I know he just had this thumb, which is terrible timing, but he's been fairly available. He should be back. He's a big dude. He takes care of his body. He's a student of the game. I think, just to take a beat from the contract conversation, I'm just annoyed that he got injured because it really felt like he was on a different time this season. You could tell even in the preseason game, get into the rack, doing different things. At that time, he didn't have the contract, and I'm sure he knew it was coming. So it's not as if, let me play well in these preseason games to prove to them I need a contract. Obviously, they've been having these conversations while I was having segments saying, why haven't we heard anything? But Keegan was trying to move different this season. He can still move different this season. And that's why I'm upset at the injury. I wanted to see DeMar DeRozan drop out of the top 20 in field goal attempts. I wanted to see Keegan creep up there and see if he can get back to a career high in scoring. So Keegan definitely had those intentions on his mind. And I can only assume that once... It's not a foregone conclusion, but if DeMar DeRozan, his time ends, not got guaranteed contract next season, we're going to see a new version of Keegan. I don't know that he'll ever be Kawhi, as a lot of people said, or that caller that thought he'd be Jason Tatum, which is Kyle's favorite caller, but we're going to see a different version of Keegan when he returns. And we're going to see an even more different version of him once some of these guys get removed from the equation. Not to rush them out the building, but this is just the nature of it's like having a senior. That's how I look at it. You got a sophomore who's a complete stud muffin, and you want to give the keys to them. I've said the same example back in my day when I was playing college baseball. Same idea. I think DeMar DeRozan is kind of that senior. I don't think there was a lot out there for him. I think Scott Perry was trying to build a culture. I don't know that DeMar, and we're going to get into this literally in about 3 minutes, what Sam Amick had to say. There are a lot of reasons to believe that Keegan's usage will reflect the $28 million, even to the tune of it looking like a bargain. And I will give you why that may be the case when we return. Don't move. About 2 minutes. Sam Amick was on the morning show and shared something with the guys that was really illuminating on this upcoming season. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24-monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits ended. Balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel. Finance agreement. iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with auto pay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
This message comes from Viking, committed to exploring the world in comfort. Journey through the heart of Europe on an elegant Viking longship with thoughtful service, destination-focused dining, and cultural enrichment on board and on shore. With small ships that bring travelers closer to the destination, there's more time to explore. And every Viking voyage is all-inclusive, with no children and no casinos. Discover more at Viking.com.
In San Diego, kids are standing up against big tobacco.
We are here to discuss the urgent issue of vapes being sold near schools and other places where people gather.
I was enticed, like so many others my age, and this is exactly how the tobacco market was trying to get me to react, and I was completely unaware.
Today, over 100 California communities restrict tobacco sales near youth spaces, like schools and parks. Learn how these teens and other Californians are beating big tobacco at undo.org.
Play and win to take your loyalty to new heights at Sky River Casino. Join Sky River Rewards today for a chance to receive up to $2,500 in free play. Plus, you'll be in the know about upcoming special events and offers. Just minutes from Sacramento, right off Highway 99 in Elk Grove. Join in the fun with rewards that add up and up. Sky's the limit at Sky River Casino. Visit us to see how. Must be 21 or over. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
YouTube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
The new and sleek social spots in Sacramento as we break down Keegan's contract and some really interesting notes from Sam Amick. Real quick, Dyson Daniels is seeking $150 million, and I just thought it was a funny note because we were just talking about this guy. His agent is using Jalen Suggs' contract to say, if this bum is getting paid this, Dyson deserves the same thing or more.
Man, if Dyson Daniels can't get Jalen Suggs money, that's going to be tough.
Different world, but yeah, it's the same thing. It's not as bad, but it's the comparison of using Dak or Trevor Lawrence, somebody that might be viewed as overpaid. I'm not even going to say Deshaun Watson because that's just too far gone. But if you use what is viewed as a bad contract to negotiate, that team can say, and I don't know if the Magic think it's a bad contract. I think this is the year. This is the year to figure out, did we just cook a bunch of money for no reason? Like if he's injured this season or just doesn't play well, they will say, okay, we made a mistake giving Jalen Suggs that money.
I think it's tough, though, because it's not cooked yet, because if he's in that in-between, he's still young enough where they can say, okay, let's package him to get, I don't know, a Ja Morant, or package him to get a Darius Garland, or someone who is perceived to be an upgrade, and let one of these other teams kind of rebuild. I think kind of the crux of the conversation, whether it's Jalen Suggs or Keegan or Trey Murphy, is like this price range, which is 25 to whatever Jalen Green is making, I think is the cutoff point. So like 25 to 35 is basically in the new NBA where salary cap is going to go up over the next few years. That's either your third or fourth highest paid player, which means that if that player is your number 3 and playing like an NBA number 3, you're getting great value on that deal. Think Jalen Johnson with the Hawks, right? The Hawks have Trae Young, the Hawks have Reese Hachey, the Hawks have Dyson Daniels, and they have Jalen Johnson. So Johnson is somewhere between your 3 and your 4, and it feels like you're getting really good value with Jalen Johnson at 30. Jaden McDaniels, he's at best the number 4 on the Minnesota Timberwolves, or their 4th most important player. So I guess you could say 3, depending on how you feel about Naz Reid. But again, because he's only making $26 million, which is their 4th highest paid player, it feels like they're getting really good value. So if Keegan is your number 3, your 3rd best player, you're going to feel like you're getting a great deal. And if he's your number 4, you're going to feel like you're getting adequate value.
Yeah, and that leads us right into what Sam Amick had to say. He's got an article that is kind of illustrating this as well, but we're going to play the sound for you, why the Keegan deal might make a little bit more sense when it comes to his usage in the very, very, very near future. Here it is.
Yeah, I mean, I would think so. I can't get a beat on, who might be kind of first to go, what they might be looking at. I noted in the story that, I don't think I'm off on this. Like, I feel like there have been significantly more scouts at their preseason games this year than there were in years past. And chatted with a few of them about how certainly part of that is that when you have a team that the rest of the league thinks is going to be active on the trade market, then you need to fill your notebook with your own observations about each of their players so that you can go back to your opposing team and tell them if you think, we should pursue this guy and that guy or not pursue certain people. So I feel confident saying they're going to be discussed a lot as, a team that gets looked at and that looks to make moves. And yeah, they're super guard heavy, but we'll see where it goes. I think the thing coming, I know it's, fresh and literally hours ago with that game. The thing that I walked away last night thinking was like, man, like all these proud vets, and I say it again, like all these incredible resumes. But if it's ugly, I almost would be disappointed for everybody involved because it's, you got all these guys that are just trying to continue their careers, but it did look like it could potentially not be real pretty last night.
That was Sam Amick. And, it's always interesting to me, the idea of scouting guys that have been in the league, because let's think about it. I mean, I don't think they're moving off of Maxime Ray, or Nick Clifford, I don't think. And people are already joking because Nick Clifford had a great game last night, so people are joking. Well, the Kings will probably move Nick Clifford based on recent history, but removing the guys that just got drafted, you could be taking notes on Devin Carter, but again, that's a kind of more.
I don't think things have to go south to get him.
No. And I was going to say low-hanging fruit. You can probably get him right now if you wanted him. But it's always funny, the idea of scouting Domantas Sabonis in year whatever, or scouting DeMar DeRozan in year whatever, or scouting Zach LaVine. But I believe that's what they're doing, because why Malik Monk wasn't playing. Why are they scouting? Like I said, you're not scouting Nick Clifford and Maxime Reynaud.
Or Keon Ellis.
Or yeah, Keon's a good one too. That might be one of the best ones.
I think
obviously Keegan didn't play.
I think the scout specific one though is how does this player fit into what you're doing?
Yeah.
Like I think the scout, it's less about the basketball fit because so much of it is flow offenses and how much of it is how is this guy's playing style going to fit into what we are doing already, especially if you're going to make a mid-season acquisition.
You know what's scary to me is my she's gonna be mad that I said it's on the air, but my little sister a couple weeks ago, she called me and basically she got into it but a conversation had to be had. She was at a store and a purse was locked up, right? So the purse is locked up. She's holding the purse and another woman comes over to look at the purse and she says, yeah, I think it's really good. I'm going to go find somebody to look at it, right? Now, the purse is locked up, so you cannot take it. So she goes to find somebody and the person comes back to unlock the purse and this new woman with the purse thought that, I guess, my sister was not interested in it. And the woman said, well, I'm currently holding the purse. As my little sister was walking away, my sister said, well, I had to put the purse down to go get somebody to unlock it. So there was this back and forth and she's calling me all upset. And you know me, I'm just like, well, that lady is an idiot. I mean, if you had to go get the purse, you had dibs on the purse. But my point is, when somebody wants something, right? I don't know if my little sister truly wanted the purse. She told me she did. But when somebody wants something, it ups how much you now want to hold on to it. And I'm wondering now, and my fear with the Kings is they see a bunch of scouts around, and I don't think Scott Perry would do this just to buck the trend, but just them as a unit saying, oh, y'all thought you're getting a fire sale? No, we're going to take this thing as far as we can take it. We're not moving anyone, and almost to spite the idea that we're here because you screwed up. And in an attempt to prove that you didn't screw up, you make the screw up even worse, which was kind of what they did with Zach LaVine. And this would be tripling down on the screw up. If this thing isn't going well and you're still trying to tweak here, tweak there, maybe DeRozan's the only, if they say if they are in 11th, 12th place and they say we are only willing to move DeMar DeRozan, that's a huge mistake. That's a huge mistake in my opinion. Now, Keegan should be untouchable. Keon, I don't know because of the unrestricted thing, but you have to admit at some point you got to take your medicine. And I worry about when I go into a store and I see a shirt and whatever the size is, I'm like, because I got, weird dimensions. Am I a medium today? Am I a large? Then I walk away from the shirt and somebody picks it up. Now I'm hoping that they put it down because now all of a sudden, it did fit me okay. I can do medium. I can do whatever it is. It's that same feeling of, well, they're here because we messed up? No. We're not moving off of these guys. What do you think this is? We're going to figure it out when you might not be able to figure it out. But it all remains to be seen. That's for when we get to January and we look at where the Kings are in the standings, which is Sam Amick saying, based on what we saw last night, and again, the 20 games are already going to be tough. We don't have an update on Domantas Sabonis yet, but Keegan, we know, missing at least 10 to 12 games. This thing could get ugly fast.
The Keegan one's going to be a bit more than 10 to 12.
Yeah. I saw the Trissie Rodriguez note. It could be worse.
But even if it's 6 weeks, that's 19 games would be 6. Anyways, the first part that you mentioned that we don't have to worry about anymore is that because Keegan signed the extension, he's ineligible to be traded for 12 months after he signed the deal.
That's right. It's the marketing thing.
Yeah. So no Keegan trade rumors anymore. Let's go. We cannot trade him even if we want to.
That's full on, in my opinion. That's full on fire sale.
Yeah.
Neek, Maxime, they're not. I don't think they're at the top. Maybe Neek, but no Neek.
No one's trading a rookie.
No, it just doesn't happen.
Unless it's a package for a larger deal, like Dalton Connect going in the Mark Williams
I think the
deal.
rest is a yard sale, Kyle.
Yeah.
If you are in 11th, 12th place, if you're, how I feel. If you're in 9th, 10th place, put the signs up around the neighborhood. It is, I don't know the difference between a yard sale and a garage sale. Maybe it's just the garage sale is in the garage. But it is a yard sale. It is a garage sale. Put the signs up. And just take your medicine. If that happens, maybe it doesn't happen.
I do think the one thing that caveats that is, as much as I think it was Brennan who was talking about, like, even if they're in the 8-9, they might still sell if they get a great offer, all that stuff.
Well, not according to Sean Cunningham thinks differently.
Yeah. And again, different reasonable basketball minds can have differing opinions. I will say, if it's painfully obvious to everyone that this thing is not going to work, I don't even know what that looks like. I don't know if that means they're in 13th place. I don't know if that means like players are publicly calling each other out. Like, if it's painfully obvious to everyone that this thing is just not going to work, then I feel like it becomes obvious that they're going to sell something at the deadline. Because in the modern NBA with play-ins and 24 teams trying to go for the playoffs, if you're a clear and obvious seller at the trade deadline, there is no better time to sell because everybody believes they've got a better shot. And as we saw with Kuminga, the books are more flexible.
Yeah, I'm looking here just based on the numbers, and it's interesting because this guy has a player option, and I know he just got traded, but I believe he'd be available by the time the trade deadline was getting near. But you might be able, depending on what it looks like with the Clippers, because now he's coming off the bench, and I don't know if he'd come off the bench with the Kings, but you might be able to spin the block on John Collins. You know, DeMar DeRozan is making 24. He's making 26. It's a player option. You might have to give something else, you know, and help the Clippers get a little bit younger. It feels like the Clippers are missing scoring, and John Collins isn't fitting as a off the bench guy. Look, it's a pipe dream, but that's the type of stuff that the Kings could do and maybe keep this thing going. John Collins at 27 years old, I think he would be somebody that could really help Domantas Sabonis. On the other side, we will get to what Sam Amick had to write in the article. It's fairly similar, but we wanted to break it down for you. And at what point does pride come into play with the Sacramento Kings? And could it drive them to turn this thing around when the basketball world, they don't think it's possible? Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
on Sactown Sports 1140.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they're upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy home pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Staples presents That Was Easy.
So I'm a plumber and needed to get work in the door.
So business was going down the drain?
Yeah, I went to Staples. They printed yard signs, business cards, even flyers to leave at supply stores.
But at what cost, man?
Well, I saved $125 on my order, and now I'm booked solid. Boom!
Back at ya. For your business printing, Staples.
That was easy.
Now save up to $125 on custom print orders. Valid in-store and online. Ends 11/1. Exclusions apply. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Let's go! You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified, sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
"15 minutes away from your chance and that secret code, all right, to get the night at the Kimpton Sawyer, the tickets to the Thunder Kings game, as well as $200 to Revival, one of the coolest social spots in Sacramento. I'm still waiting to get my haircut so I can. That one, I got to, like I said, I got to get a real haircut. I can't do the Allen cleanup. I got to get a real haircut to be out there, and I'll be out there hopefully with y'all and run into some of you at Revival and other spots throughout the season.
Yeah, you got to go. Your once a month cut is going to be November 6th.
That's right. I got to be crispy. I got to be very, very. I'm due because I'm gonna go to obviously the home opener. So I'm definitely due next week. I gotta fill it out here. Okay,
is that the touch up or is that
no? This is the real thing.
Okay,
this is the real thing. Are you? And I know others. There's a whole thing about your haircut looks best after a couple days. So like for my wedding, obviously because it was in Philly, I got it cut. And it was, you have the welcome party and things like that. So you're fresh up until the wedding, right? I think we flew out maybe on Tuesday or Wednesday. The wedding was on Saturday. So it ain't I know some people get cut the day of. I agree with what people are saying unless it's a big event like that, right? If I agree with your hair, the haircut maybe might look a little better and more natural with the crispiness 2-3 days out. But if the event is big enough, I need to be as crispy as possible. I'm not gonna, like I said, I had to fly out, but if I could have got a haircut the day of my wedding, I would have.
Yeah, I just think people who are spending their wedding day with 2 hours in the barber chair.
Might take me 2 hours.
Might be doing a little too much.
Take me 2 hours. It's 1 hour. I'm in and out.
Okay.
I'm in and out. I didn't do it because I didn't have a barber out in Philly. But if I did, I would have done that.
So you got it, Monday for your wedding?
Yeah, Monday or Tuesday and then flew out.
Yeah, so you did it before you flew out.
Yeah, so I had a couple days by the time the wedding came. And some people think that's they feel more comfortable. And I understand what you're saying because sometimes it's too crispy. Right, but I like if the event is big enough, I need it as crispy as possible. So for let's say the game is Wednesday, I'm probably going to get cut. I'm probably going to get cut on Monday, so it'll be pretty dang crispy.
Okay,
but I wouldn't get cut. That's not I don't need the super crispy. I don't need to rush here. Get cut Wednesday for the home opener.
I think I'm not a good gauge for this because obviously I get a haircut like every 6 months, but my gauge on my last haircut, now that I'm doing the long hair thing, is about 2 days later when people are still noticing 2 days later that you got a haircut, that makes me feel good.
Yeah. As I said, Watkins came in here crispy. He came in here crispy.
He did. He also did, you were out, but he got a cut on the Monday before he was filling it. So, like, I had seen him on the Friday.
Yeah.
And then he came in on the Monday. Then he was sick by the Tuesday. But his haircut was looking crispy. And
So-
I point out to like, someone must have gotten a haircut.
That's right. And, you go to Revival, you better look crispy. So that could be you. We're going to give you that keyword in about 10 minutes here. So this is what Sam Amick had to say. He said a lot of things. The name of the article is Adding Russell Westbrook to a Mismatched Sacramento Kings Squad. Why not? And as we know, Russell Westbrook's kind of catchphrase is why not? This is what Sam writes. As Westbrook himself likes to say, why not? There's a reason that hordes of opposing scouts have been coming to the Kings games in this preseason. And it's not because they're dying to see if Dennis Schroeder can truly unlock the core of Domantas Sabonis, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Malik Monk, and the like. It is, at least in part, because rival teams expect the Kings to be sellers by the time the February trade deadline comes around and need to evaluate their group to decide if their respective teams should come calling. However, if it doesn't work, if the ambitious vision of Kings coach Doug Christie to convince all these score-first talents to defend isn't realized and they fall short of the playoffs for the 19th time in the organization's past 2 decades, then the good news for Westbrook is that there's just no way the ending will be his fault this time around. In stark contrast to those Los Angeles Lakers, Clippers, and Nuggets teams that he was on in recent years, when title contention was the goal and the white-hot spotlight often came his way when it wasn't realized. The stakes of this situation are far different. I would love to be a fly on the wall because I do think there's a level of the athlete speak. We talked to DeMar about it on Media Day. Go check that out on YouTube and the Sactown Sports app. But, I don't pay attention to that, right? That's what you say. I don't pay attention to that. I don't care. But DeMar said, I was just talking to him about rankings, right? When you see an over-under or you see a rankings, the top 100, who, by the way, I think it was Bleacher Report left Ja Morant off their top 100 list. I just thought that was an interesting note. But when you see these rankings, DeMar basically said, no, we don't really pay attention, but it is motivation. If the rankings are motivation, what do you think last night was? And I know DeMar protects his peace and he's not on social media a lot, but that's DeMar DeRozan. I don't know about all the other players on the Kings, some of the young guys. Domantas Sabonis was just on X promoting his wine. He was saying a shout out to Kings Muse about shipping his wine, whatever it is. There's no way they did not see everything that went down last night. There's no way. Maybe DeMar didn't. Maybe Keegan Murray didn't. But there's no way they don't know that they got vigorously clowned yesterday.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, was it Brandon Jennings? Someone had the story of like DeRozan said it. DeRozan said he's seen players checking Twitter at halftime of games. You think they don't know that after Russell, they found, I guarantee you 70% of that roster found out Russell Westbrook officially signed either from Shams or someone showing them the Shams tweet.
For sure.
So of course they saw what was going on yesterday, which I don't know if it affects them or not.
I don't know if it's so what are you going to do about it?
I don't think this was the straw that would break the camel's
Kyle.
back.
I mean, we had cross-talking. Carmichael Dave said what happened last night. And again, if you weren't on social media, good for you. But Carmichael Dave said yesterday as a whole, worse than the Halliburton trade, because at that time there was still a coalition of people saying, hey, I mean, Domantas Sabonis, there was still a lot of people defending Domantas Sabonis saying, we don't know what this team is going to do. There was no defending the Russell Westbrook addition yesterday.
Yeah.
There was nothing.
Well, not only that, it's that people were using the Russell Westbrook signing to point out all the other dumb things the Kings have done.
Yeah.
Over recent years. This was just kind of like a reminder of, the Kings I should find the Worldwide Wob had a great joke that was like, you don't need to sign Russell Westbrook for this to be true, but it was a really good one. Let me see if I can find it again.
Yeah.
But,
all right. Well, we're going to get to the other side. 12 o'clock, we have the secret keyword for you. And like I said, right, it's been a little bleak, and I've tried to be a beacon of light. I know I've been known as the keep it real guy, and I do keep it real. But funny enough, keeping it real feels more optimistic these days because everybody wants to be a doomsdayer. It's the hot thing. If you want clicks, talk trash about the Sacramento Kings. We'll talk trash about the Sacramento Kings when we should talk trash about the Sacramento Kings. But yesterday did not move me in the way that it moved others. So with that being said, the four-letter network somehow, and Kevin Pelton, we got to buy him we got to give him $200 to Revival because he's got a projection, dare I say, that has the Kings making the playoffs. That's right. You doomsdayers, you might want to hang on for this one in about 3 minutes as we hit the 12 o'clock hour, and you get a chance at the Kimpton Sawyer and a free stay. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
What's going on? We're talking to Chad Hoblet of Hoblet Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Woodland. Tell me, Chad, what's happening for the Drive into Fall event?
There's still time to get some adventure in when you save up to $8,600 off MSRP on the brand new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Willys. I love how these modern Jeep Wrangler Willys are filled with the latest and greatest tech and comforts, yet pay homage to the iconic past of the Jeep with huge off-road capability, distinctive exterior styling, and special interiors you will love.
Man, you make it sound like you're buying a modern-day piece of history.
It's true. Once you get into one of the Willys, you won't want to get out. But whatever you're looking for, you can find it at Hoblet. Check out our certified pre-owned supercenter with nearly 200 vehicles available and over 50 under $20,000.
Whatever you need, it's at Hoblet right now. Search, select, and save through their whole inventory at HobletDodge.com. Unbeatable prices, unbeatable selection. Nobody beats Hoblet, period.
$8,600 total net savings on select new 2025 Jeep Wrangler Willys after $4,000 factory rebates and $4,600 dealer discounts. Rebates include $500 first responder bonus cash for eligible first responders. 3% net savings. Sample VIN 608-744. See dealer for details.
You live for this. The wins, the losses, the slam dunks, and the buzzer beaters. The dream that this is your team's year. Hope, it's what keeps you coming back. So you represent with anticipation and with pride. Because when everything's on the line, your support means everything. That's why the NBA Store is here to support you. Check out the largest selection of official NBA gear at NBAstore.com. A Fanatics experience.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Footballs are flying, the days are getting shorter, fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter, so who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Hey man, gaining weight, low energy, lost drive? It could be your testosterone. Revive Men's Health Sacramento helps men get their edge back. Meet Tyler, Revive Men's Health Director of Operations.
When men start treatment, it's not just their labs that change. You see it in their posture, their energy, and how they walk into the room. That's why I do what I do.
Call 916-619-3000 now to book your free testosterone test, exam, and consultation. That's 916-619-3000 or schedule anytime at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
The deals are on now at the Model Year-End Sales Event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Folsom Lake Honda.
Go to FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
KHD 1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Sactown Sports 1140.
Live and local
It's Allen Stiles
on Sactown Sports.
Sactown Sports. 12 o'clock on the dot. Allen Stiles, we got you for the next 2 hours. Sactown Sports is giving you a chance to win a pair of lower level seats to the Sacramento Kings versus OKC on November 7th. A one-night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer and a $200 gift card to Revival. Downtown Sacramento's social hotspot. Enjoy elevated vibes, a stylish crowd, and the perfect view of the Beam after a Kings win over the defending champions. Text in today's keyword to 916-339-1140 right now for your chance to win. You got to do it within these next 2 hours before the drive guys come in, and there is a new code. All right, so the code for the Allen Stiles Show is...
Cauliflower. Oh, my bad.
No, enough with the cauliflower. Is pass. Dennis Schroeder will pass the rock. P-A-S-S. Pass. Passing the rock, okay? But it's just pass. P-A-S-S. That is the secret keyword for today, and it will give you an opportunity to win a one-night stay at Revival. Your Kings
Wait, what? A one-night stay at Revival?
Your one-night stay.
You gotta sleep at the bar?
Yeah. Hey. I'm not $200 go a long way. The one night stay at the Kimpton Sawyer, $200 gift card to Revival, and of course Kings Thunder lower level seats.
I love the idea because the Kings offices are in the Sawyer. I love the idea that someone's gonna show up the next day as an employee and go up to the roof, and you're just gonna be sleeping on the bar.
There you go. Okay, so your opportunity right now. Text in PASS 916-339-1140. You know, the optimism that we're going to get into with the ESPN simulator, that is something I think is going to make people feel a little bit better, or they're going to say that's garbage. I don't believe it. But my question is, and I just saw Brian Windhorst say, not to be a Debbie Downer, but Westbrook isn't going to start. Here's the quote. I don't mean to be a Debbie Downer. Dennis Schroeder is going to be their starter. He is on his fifth team, talking about Westbrook. Dennis Schroeder. He's on his fifth team in 3 years. Dennis Schroeder can do a lot of things. He is a journeyman. He's a journeyman for a reason. This is now Russell Westbrook's seventh team in 8 years. Okay? That is a journeyman. He is a journeyman for a reason. So they're both journeymen, but Dennis Schroeder is, I guess, younger and can do more things than Westbrook. I'll tell you this much right now, Kyle. Okay? And Marcellus Howard, who joined us, he was talking about, I've been texting him, and we're going to have him back on, because he was talking about Westbrook starting. If Dennis Schroeder keeps shooting like this, there might be an argument.
I mean,
I'm just saying.
Let's remember now.
I'm just saying.
If shooting is your problem, Russell Westbrook being the answer is like saying, my roof is leaking. Let me go higher.
No. I'm just saying, if one of the things, if we were to list off things that Dennis Schroeder does better than Russell Westbrook, I think one of them would be shooting.
Yes, but Westbrook is also, by volume, the worst three-point shooter in NBA history.
That has nothing to do with this season.
Now, the thing that he fixed is that he got in the corner and started shooting threes. And he can hit the corner three at like 48%, which I think was actually like top 10 in the NBA last year. So all Westbrook did for one summer was get the machine, shoot him threes in the right corner, and he just buried corner threes. That doesn't mean Russell Westbrook can make three-pointers.
I'm not saying that Russell Westbrook can't. I'm saying right now Dennis Schroeder can't. But and the Warriors literally prayed for him to be taking out. If you ask a Warrior fan about Dennis Schroeder, they might vomit on the spot. I mean, he was bad on that team. He was bad. I know it was a weird fit. You're going from the Nets to having expectations. I get all that. I'm just saying, he was really bad on the Warriors.
But I would say if your problem is shooting, and I get it, like Westbrook does other things, but if your problem is shooting and your solution is Russell Westbrook. That's like saying, my tire is flat on my car. Let me take it to Russell Westbrook and see if he can fix it.
I feel like you're missing the point, though, because they want to push the pace. They want to do. I haven't. Here's a weird thing. Just a larger point. Whether it's Westbrook or Devin Carter or Nick Clifford, whoever it is, I am not seeing anything that the Kings told us they were going to do. Still, nobody is guarding 94 feet. Still, to this day, we haven't seen it. They're not pushing the pace. Dennis Schroeder is not pushing the pace. So I'm not trying to start something before Westbrook even gets into Sacramento. But all I'm saying is I think this says more about the Dennis Schroeder all-star talk that they were telling us, number one. And number two, just how bad the preseason's been. The only thing I have to take from and we're about to get optimistic, so that's why don't worry here. But the only thing that I've seen is that Nick Clifford is a heck of a basketball player and is going to be an NBA player. That's my only positive takeaway from watching 3 games of Sacramento, 2.5 with what happened in Portland.
2 and until the screen wouldn't work. 2
and then zoom-ins on Robert Williams III. That's all I have is Nick Clifford.
Zoom-ins on Robert Williams III is crazy.
That's all I have right now.
Time Lord.
Yeah.
Anyways, so I think where it's tough with pace, though, is like if we really break it down, again, I don't have arguments about the other stuff you're talking about, but if pace is the thing that a point guard switch might improve, where I'm having a problem with it is like, pace is a byproduct of the number of possessions you get per game, which means pace is not an individual player. It's more about how fast you get shots up. And I don't know that Russell Westbrook single-handedly can improve the pace of the team unless Russell Westbrook is the one chucking those shots early in the shot clock. Like, pace is more of like a team function than it is an individual, right? Yeah. You need DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis and Keon Ellis in addition to Dennis Schroeder or Russell Westbrook to improve the pace.
No, I hear you. But somebody on N, it's just N, on the Sac chat says, Zach has also been good. You're correct, and just and Zach LaVine has been outstanding. So we have two things. Okay, we have Nick Clifford and we have Zach LaVine, who's been really good. He also gets paid the most, so I'm glad that he looks the best. Yeah. But he gets paid a heck of a lot of money. But that does not negate the fact that he looks good.
You're disappointed in the fact Sabonis is 0 for 10 from 3 with the fast hitch.
I just don't want to see it anymore.
Yeah,
I don't.
LaVine, again, everything LaVine coded is always going to come with the context of his contract, right? And I've talked about this before. If LaVine made $35 million, nobody would have a complaint with Zach LaVine.
Sure.
So when Zach LaVine does awesome things, you even caveat it. Now he's the highest paid player on the team, which means he should be your best player. You have to caveat everything with Zach LaVine. Mm-hmm. But yes, when Zach LaVine looks awesome, Zach LaVine looks like the guy who's made multiple all-star teams before.
916-339-1140. We got a couple calls coming in that want to be a part of the conversation. Kyle is going to get you through and see what you want to talk about. Okay, so like we said, there have been a lot of projections when it comes to the Sacramento Kings, and a lot of them have not been positive. But we did find one that was very positive, all right? Believe it or not. So again, this guy eats free in Sacramento, Kevin Pelton, all right? Never thought I would say that, but the 2025-2026 NBA simulation, predictions, playoffs, and finals. This is what Kevin Pelton writes. How will the NBA season look if my stat-based projections are an accurate measure of team ability? The purpose of simulating the NBA season ahead of time is generally to see how often various things are likely to happen, from the weakest teams winning the draft lottery to the best ones taking home the Larry O'Brien trophy. It can also be fun to go through individual runs of the simulation to give an idea of what unlikely events could become reality based on random chance. In the spirit of ESPN's NFL tradition, let's go through the NBA season using simulation. Number 620 chosen because of its interesting outcomes from opening night to the end of the NBA finals. Note, this is not my prediction or ESPN's of how this season will unfold. The outcomes are produced at random via simulation and everything else, including player stats, take takes creative license. Along the way, we'll crown an NBA Cup winner, enjoy the action on Christmas Day, determine the final playoff seeds, set the draft lottery and winner, run through the play-in tournament, playoffs, and finally name the 2025-2026 NBA champion. Let's get to it. So, as we have been continuing to tease you, all right, let's get to the Western Conference, specifically the Sacramento Kings. This is what he has to say, or the simulator has to say. Kings go 38-44, smash the over of 34.5 or 35.5, get the 10th seed, beat the number 9 Phoenix Suns in the 9-10 play-in game. Wait for it. Beat the number 7, I told y'all they're trash, Minnesota Timberwolves in the second play-in to get the 8th seed. Okay?
Playoff revenue.
That's right, meaning that they'd be the second team in NBA history to get into the playoffs from the 10 seed.
Yes, joining last year's Heat.
Yeah, they're playing buddies, the Miami Heat. They lose in 5 games to the number 1 seeded ... the Golden State Warriors.
Light the beam! Light it!
Somehow, some way, it all comes back to the Warriors. This simulation has the Kings winning the play-in, getting the 8th seed, and it also has the Golden State Warriors becoming the 1 seed over the Thunder.
Also, to your point, you're never going to believe this. The other play-in game of the 9-8 is Bulls versus Heat.
That's just, even the simulation says, what else are we going to do?
Yeah, like what other possibility? Yes, so the Kings get in over the Timberwolves, and the Bulls, I don't actually know who they said wins the other one, but it's... Oh, the Bulls beat the Heat in the second play-in.
Just for funsies, this simulation has they finally learned how to shoot, and I guess Jalen Suggs finally plays. The Orlando Magic he has them as the 1 seed, or the simulation does. The Orlando Magic beat the Warriors in 7 games to win their first championship in franchise history. Paolo Banchero, Franz Wagner, and the crew, they get their first ring. So that is a bunch of different simulations out there. This one that he chose to write up, simulation number 620, lands the Kings in the playoffs. All right. In the draft lottery, though, the Timberwolves won the lottery. Of course they did. After losing to the Kings. And because of the Rudy Gobert trade, they had to pick swap with the Jazz at number 5. So the Jazz finally get AJ Debinsa.
Yes, they got Debinsa in a technicality. But that is the funny scenario that we can bring up here, because how many Kings fans would, if this exact situation played out where they win in the play-in to get the 8th seed and lose to the Warriors, and the Timberwolves, because they lost to the Kings, won the lottery, how many Kings fans would be like, see, this is why they should have just lost the play-in?
I don't know, though, right? You talk to somebody like Sean Cunningham, who's out in the streets. Don't play the drop. You don't have to play it every time.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who? I don't know.
Sean deserves better than that. Can I say that on the air?
Here's Sean Cunningham.
That wasn't even.
Who? I don't know.
That wasn't even on my show, Kyle.
No, but
I'm making an executive decision. We're done with that.
No.
Yes.
Sean was in here filling in for you, which, by the way, you forgot to thank him on the show.
I thanked everybody.
You didn't thank him when he was on yesterday, to his face, but he co-signed the drop.
Okay. Well, you co-sign it until it's... I'd rather bang it before it's, hey, I think we're good here.
Hey, now.
I think we're good here.
Here's Sean Cunningham. Who?
So,
I don't know.
Sean, based on who he's talked to, he says that, hey, I think a lot of people still want the Kings to get into the play-in and to get into the playoffs, I should say, rather than restarting it. So you say that, and I see angry texters and I see people on social media, and Sean did say, look, for all of the season ticket holders out there, they don't want to restart, right? They don't want to reset it. So I don't know, Kyle. I think that's a really good question. Would you sacrifice the number 1 pick? Because you know what? The number 1 thing I see when people say, no, I'd rather get to the playoffs, is because people don't trust that the Kings will take the right person, right? They'll find a way to get the Anthony Bennett of the 2026 draft or whatever it is. So let's just get to the playoffs and enjoy that, even if we know we're going to lose to the Warriors versus getting the number one, which will probably screw up. That's what I see a lot. And there are people, like you said, who would sacrifice the playoffs to get the number one pick. I just don't know if it's as big of a group as I think comes off in the negativity on the text line and on social media.
No, I think you're right. And I think this scenario specifically is unfair because in this world, you can see it at the same time. You're guaranteeing that this is the outcome versus in real life, it's like you have a 1.5% chance of getting it, and it just so happened in this specific scenario that 1.5% chance of happening actually came true. If you guaranteed people the number one pick in the draft over a playoff appearance where you lose in 4 games, I think more people would pick the one pick, but that's not the reality.
No, it's hindsight's 2020. We don't know that right
You're
now.
guaranteeing people a 1.5% chance at landing said number one pick, and that I'm taking the playoff appearance 10 times out of 10 if you're giving me a 1 point. Now, if you're saying you're going to win the lottery, I would give up probably more than a first-round exit if it meant getting the next Victor Wembanyama or the next Cooper Flagg, because then that's how you turn your fortunes completely around, but that's not how the lottery works. Even the Jazz, who have spent 4 years in the lottery, have only had a 56% chance to land the number one pick at the draft at any point in their rebuild, and it's going on year 4 now. So it's just, it doesn't work that way.
Well, let's run it, Kyle. Let's run it right now. Let's run the Tankathon. Up 5 spots. With the 3rd pick in the 2026 NBA draft, the Sacramento Kings select the good boozer.
Yeah.
Or AJ DeBanza or Darren Peterson. In this draft, Utah did get the number one pick, and Portland got the 2nd pick. So Portland is going to be a problem. I think, I don't know about this season, but Portland's going to be a problem, man.
Well, this is the other crazy part about Portland is that in the Kevin Pelton simulation world, the Trailblazers end up making it to the 2nd round of the playoffs. So we've got Tankathon saying they're going to get the 2 pick, and Kevin Pelton saying they're going to win a playoff series. Like, there's no way to figure out what this Portland team is going to be. Now, I personally think they're going to be better than last year, but the fluctuation on how good or bad the Blazers are going to be might be more than any other team in the league this year.
Yeah, so that is how it would go. Again, not in Kevin Pelton's simulation world because the Kings would have made the playoffs, but in reality or closer to reality, in all probably if there are 620, this was simulation number 620. How many simulations did the Kings not make the playoffs in?
Well, that's how. Remember last year when we were doing the Basketball Reference playoff probability predictor and like what seed they were going to end up? That's literally how they calculated it. Is they had 10,000 simulations, and in how many of those simulations did the Kings get this seed or that seed or the other seed? That was literally how they calculated it. So
this was also done before the Westbrook signing.
Yeah. Well, so now,
hey, top 5.
Now, in this simulation, it only takes, let me see if I can find the final standings here. Yeah, it only took 38 wins to get to the 10 seed. I guess 42 would have been the 9, so I guess they would have needed a little bit more. But in this simulation, all it would have taken is just an above 500 record. Also, interesting note, they had the Pacers winning 47 games. So,
Benedict Mathurin.
I guess.
It's time.
They
Aaron
have
Nesmith.
A first-round playoff series between the Raptors and the Pacers is how this turns out. I'm not even saying it's wrong either. It's just fascinating how we think we know how these seasons are going to go, and there's always weird stuff that happens every year. They've got the Grizzlies winning 51 games in this thing.
Yeah, so that was just a little note to maybe make you feel better about the Sacramento Kings because there's a possibility. I got a text in here from Kimberly on the 916 or from the 916. Kimberly says, Zach looks great and Dennis is invisible. Yeah, we've been joking about the shooting of Dennis Schroeder, but I got to say, that's probably my takeaway too, Kimberly. I'm not seeing a lot from Dennis Schroeder. Half the time, am I tripping, or half the time, he's not even bringing the ball up or initiating the offense. So I don't think worried is the right word, because that's why people on the text line and calling in didn't want Dennis Schroeder, because I don't think a lot of people had very high expectations for it. We'll see what happens when the games actually matter. But, yeah, the Dennis Schroeder thing to me, as far as preseason is concerned, which I know doesn't count, but I am not seeing the cohesiveness. And I get it, obviously Keegan Murray not playing and Malik Monk wasn't playing yesterday. But I got to see more, right? I got to see more from Dennis when the games actually count. Because right now, the way they were talking about him, I'm not seeing the floor general per se, at least not yet. 916-339-1140. Let's go to our guy, Dwayne from Stockton, wants to be a part of the conversation. What's up, Dwayne? How you been? What you got for us?
Hey, what's up with the homies? Allen, how's the family, man?
Good, man. Can't complain. I appreciate you asking.
Hey, everybody's real proud of you, man, doing your thing. Hey, listen, I'm shell-shocked, though, man. I'm ready to tap back in with the Kings because the season's about to start. Mm-hmm. And the first thing I see is Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook, bro. Two more guards, and old guards at that, who can't really shoot the rock that consistently.
Yeah.
I mean, I just don't know what's going on, man. What's up with all these guards? You guys already know what it is the last 2 years. I thought it'd be different this year. So at this point, man, you're not looking too cool going into the season. I wouldn't have paid anyone after last season. If I would have stayed losers, I'd have kept my money in my pocket. Mm-hmm. There's no way Keegan Murray gets $140 million, bro.
Yeah, I don't have a problem, and I know you've been listening, Dwayne, and appreciate you. Good to have you back on the phone lines. I don't have a problem with the Keegan thing. When it comes to the Russell Westbrook and Dennis Schroeder thing, as everything I said yesterday, I stand by. I still don't think they needed Russell Westbrook, though. I've never said that they felt like they needed a backup point guard. I never thought they needed both of them. If you wanted to go Westbrook, I think you could have went Westbrook. If you wanted to go, and you could have got him at a minimum, by the way, and used that money elsewhere. If you wanted to go Dennis Schroeder, you could have went Dennis Schroeder. I might be tripping, but I don't know how big the gap is between Dennis Schroeder and Russell Westbrook. It says, you know what it is? It's Mac Jones, Brock Purdy to me. Dennis Schroeder is better than Russell Westbrook, right? You have Russell Westbrook on, and what is the minimum, Kyle? What is the league minimum?
It's 2-point-something million.
Okay, so for this year, just specifically this year, Dennis Schroeder is making $13 million more, $13 million more than Russell Westbrook. Is Dennis Schroeder $12 million more better than Russell Westbrook? The same way is Brock Purdy $50 million better than Brock Purdy? I don't think so in either capacity.
Looks like about $3.6 million was the contract. So
right,
yeah,
so about 11 million. Is he $11 million better than Russell Westbrook? I'm not seeing it yet. I will wait for the regular season. But right now, my answer is no. What say you? Let's get to the other side. We'll get Kyle's answer on it. We'll keep the conversation going. And we will play the sound from Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons that went completely viral as we were just very positive about the Kings and optimistic. We'll play it because everybody's talking about it. If you missed out, you'll get to hear it. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Download the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento sports in your pocket. This is Sactown Sports 1140.
Let's go!
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You've still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
Confidence is knowing you're ready to handle whatever comes your way. That's what it feels like to take on your workday with Cintas. They make sure your AEDs are up to date, your fire extinguishers are tested and inspected, your floor mats are cleaned and delivered, and your workwear looks good, feels good, and is freshly laundered with a Cintas Apparel Plus program. So are you ready to take on today? Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
This is the story of the one. As a custodial supervisor at a high school, he knows that during cold and flu season, germs spread fast. It's why he partners with Grainger to stay fully stocked on the products and supplies he needs, from tissues to disinfectants to floor scrubbers. Also that he can help students, staff, and teachers stay healthy and focused. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
You're still glowing, flirting, grooving. You still got it. But your immune system weakens as you age, making it harder to fight flu, pneumococcal pneumonia, RSV, and COVID-19. Vaccines are a key part of any health routine and help strengthen your immune response. Ask your doctor or pharmacist which vaccines you need. Schedule in minutes at VaxAssist.com. Sponsored by Pfizer.
For over 90 years, Hagen Oaks has partnered with the biggest brands in golf to bring cutting-edge technology to your game. Our one-of-a-kind total game fitting offers a level of experience and precision that is unmatched. From driver to putter, footwear to golf balls, our TrackMan-powered performance studios, 3D footwear scanner, and Ping's Ballnamic ball fitting kiosk ensure every piece of your gear is tailored to your swing. Trust the experts at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Total game fitting starts here.
With 25 award-winning years in Northern California, Ashton & Price is your local injury law firm. Pro attorney tip: if a firm presents it's local but they're in LA, red flag. If your first consultation is not with a lawyer, big red flag. At Ashton & Price, your first consult is with a local attorney, and if serious injury prevents travel, a lawyer will come to you. Still not enough? George Washington's my uncle. At Ashton & Price, no red flags, just red, white, and blue.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
This 49ers Red Zone Report is being brought to you by Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
The handoff to McCaffrey. McCaffrey up the middle. He's into the end zone. Touchdown, 49ers. Ball will be set near hash. Here it comes from left to right. It's on its way. Plenty of distance, and it is good. Left to right. Morstead to hold. Good snap. Kick is on its way, and it is right on through. Pipes another one for Pinero. His fourth field goal attempt. It is up. It is on its way, and of course, it is good.
Ready, set, win big. When the 49ers win, you score. With 49% off any large pizza, only at Mountain Mike's Pizza. Celebrate every game day with your favorites from our legendary crispy, curly pepperoni, bold sauced up wings, garlic butter drenched sides, and gooey sweet desserts, all hot, fresh, and built for a Niners victory. Download the Mountain Mike's app, join Mountain Rewards, and turn every Niners win into a pizza party. Let's go Niners. Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
If you're not looking for a brand new car, at Elk Grove Honda, we've acquired some of the best pre-owned cars we can find. We've kept only the best of our trades, and our buyer has found some of the finest pre-owned Hondas available in Northern California. You can see for yourself at elkgrovehonda.com. Whether you purchase a brand new Honda or a like-new pre-owned Honda, your car buying experience will be the same. We have the right Honda at the right price. You'll find us in the Elk Grove Auto Mall, Highway 99 and Elk Grove Boulevard.
I gotta get an Elk Grove Honda.
'Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
$12:30. We have this audio for you, and this is just how it's been. So basically, like I said, everyone is trying to pile on, and I hope the Kings are listening to this show. I hope the Kings are listening to all the noise, man, because Bleacher Report, they know what they're doing now. Bleacher Report says, how many wins for the new look Kings? And it's a split picture. One side is Russell Westbrook. The other side is this very silly photo that I was there when the photo was taken with Zach LaVine on Domantas Sabonis' back. Have you seen this one? It was just taken, just one of the funny media photos, but they keep using it. It just, you know what you're doing.
I saw the Bleacher Report post where they're engagement farming how many wins for the new look Kings, even though it's the same team it was yesterday, but with Russell Westbrook instead of Keegan Murray.
And there's a picture of Megan Townsley, who's big Beam Team follower, has a picture of 21 Savage. So 21 wins. Just a picture.
I like that.
So
really
just
good.
a picture. All right, like I said, there's optimism, there's pessimism. This is Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons, and quite the comparison that Zach Lowe uses to talk about the Kings. Here it is.
I hate this team. I hate this roster. I hate that Keegan Murray's already injured. I hate the vibes. I hate everything. I think this is going to be a year from hell for the Kings.
This is the single dumbest NBA roster. They have no salary cap space. They have no young studs. They have no under 25 player. You're like, this guy. They have no chance. There's no point for the team. They have one playoff series appearance since 06. They haven't won a playoff series since 04. They haven't made the finals ever. And they just seem to keep popping up whenever weird shit happens. I feel bad for the Kings fans because we got a taste of how cool it was once upon a time. 2 years ago, it feels like 20 with Light the Beam. And then they just decided to reassemble the 2023 Chicago Bulls with Sabonis. And that's where we are now.
This is the Hindenburg of NBA teams this year.
So that's the Ringer. Good old Bill Simmons and Zach Lowe having some fun at the expense of the Kings. Now, they are going through every team, and they were roasting another team. I saw a clip going around, but I don't think it was anything like this.
You know what's crazy about that, too? This podcast was released yesterday morning, so they didn't even know Westbrook.
No, they did not.
They didn't even know Westbrook was good. What did they say? The dumbest roster in the NBA didn't even have Russell Westbrook yet.
Yeah, so, that's how they feel about it. And I know there are a lot of Kings fans saying, even on this show saying, play the sound. Everybody needs to hear the sound. Okay, we played it. Look, man, there is a little, I think the only thing that's overstated to me, right, it's all about the decisions that they make, okay? Because if this whole thing gets blown up and they are as bad as possible, there's one thing that makes this a completely different situation than the Suns. And the Suns, the Bucks, and the Bucks have Giannis, don't get me wrong, so they're going to get to the playoffs at least.
Bucks are like a tier above this.
Right, because they can get into the playoffs because they're in the East, and Giannis is better than anybody on the Kings by far.
And even if things go bad, they have a break glass in case of emergency, which is trade Giannis for $1 million picks.
Yes. With that being said, the one thing that they did leave out, and it all depends on how the Kings act next, and I think that's part of their argument. The Kings haven't made the right decisions in these situations. But the biggest thing that they're leaving out, and that everybody's leaving out, is that the Kings have all their picks. The Kings have all their picks.
Well, except for one.
Except for one.
One pick swap.
Sure. But they have 2026, which is a huge one. And if they decide to just say uncle and say, we're moving on, that's why all those scouts are in the building, according to Sam Amick, and they move off of DeMar and they go get, as Carmichael Dave said, a bunch of expiring contracts. They say, Keegan, it's going to be your team. Keon, we're going to cash you out. We got Nick Clifford. We're going to go get bigger. We're going to go get a young big, right? Maybe Klingon or somebody if Yang Hansen becomes the dude. So whatever, go get Walker Kessler. Whatever the case is, we're going to stink and we're going to use our picks and get good that way. And it's maybe, or you keep Sabonis, right? And you go hybrid tank. You still stink. You still go get a top pick at the end of this season. You're a top 4, top 5 pick. And you go from there. That's what they're not bringing up. Everything that they want to say about this team, we'll see, right? It doesn't look good. It definitely didn't help. You go get Westbrook, and then you go get your butts whooped by the Clippers that same day where this is circulating, right? This clip is circulating everywhere. Not a good look. We'll see what happens in the regular season. But the one thing that they are leaving out is that there are certain teams, a la the Suns, who are stuck. They're paying Jalen Green, and I know it's not comparison. Well, look how bad they are, but they're stuck, and because they probably roasted the Suns too. You paid Devin Booker $1 trillion to stay in his lowriders and release more shoes that Chris Verlaad can wear, more colorways. Jalen Green, you're paying him, what, $35 million a year? Are you kidding me?
Okay, I'm going to do the math real quick because if you...
hold on, Kyle. And you have no picks. Which is they're different levels of break glass. The Suns, their break glass is moving off of Devin Booker, but Devin Booker at that price point, is it that much better of a value than Sabonis? It's better, but are you getting that much more for Devin Booker now?
No, this was the hilarious thing. So Devin Booker and Jalen Green combined make $88.6 million this year. Mm-hmm. Zach LaVine and Domantas Sabonis combined make $88.4 million.
That's insane. And which duo's better?
Which one would I rather have? I'd rather have LaVine and Sabonis.
Same. And the Kings have their picks.
Yeah. I also really like Jalen Green. I still would rather have LaVine and Sabonis, but the point is both are terrible price points for your 1 and 2.
Yeah.
You cannot pay that much money for that to be your 1 and 2.
No. So I get what they're saying. It's funny, right? There's somebody on the text line. And man, that's what a true Kings fan feels like. You can't sugarcoat this. I mean, this needs to be a banner flown across the city so the owner can actually see what he's created. And I'm not agreeing or disagreeing with what Zach Lowe and Bill Simmons are saying because the season hasn't started yet. I know it doesn't look good, and I haven't seen what I want to see from Dennis Schroeder, and now you got injuries at play. But I will say, if they want to stop making bad decisions, they do have picks to actually hit the refresh. They do have that. You know, when we're going to have, I got a coworker meeting where we all got to meet and get to know each other. We're all put in groups. I got a coworker meeting after this, and it's sushi. You know, when you eat the ginger to kind of cleanse the palate, they can do it if they want. They can eat the ginger and cleanse the palate before they have their nigiri or whatever next bite they have. We just don't know if they're going to do it or not. And that's what the argument is. This is from another texter. You don't have an owner who has the you-know-what to do something like a rebuild, so I don't think so. That's from the 916. Sure, but they have them. The Suns are in a worse spot because they also have an owner who is doing things differently and I guess being made fun of for other things. We can find the Bill Simmons, Zach Lowe right up on the Suns. I'm sure it's not great either.
Yeah, at least the Suns don't. The problem is the Kings could have their picks. The Suns, they have to double down on this because they literally have no draft picks.
Right.
Because of that Bradley Beal trade. In the same vein, I found that tweet I was talking about earlier. This is from Worldwide Wob. This was at 8:23, so this is after the Westbrook signing and they're getting clapped by the Clippers. Every fantasy league has someone who can't make the draft. They end up auto-picking a team with fringe all-stars, the injured guy, and a big name from 6 years ago. They rarely pay attention during the season and still almost make the playoffs. Your 2026 Sacramento Kings.
See, that's fine.
That's funny.
That's fun. Yes.
The Hindenburg thing was also funny because it's just funny to say. I guess, yes, out of context, that sounds awful, but that was also funny. This was like more creative in the way. Like,
yeah, I mean they're doing a lot, but this is where people eat. The Sacramento Kings are one of the only small market teams that generate the most clicks, the most interaction, the most all of that to bag on them for being bad when they've been bad. There's no other team. Not the Raiders. There's no other team, I'd argue, in all of sports that's been bad, but for some reason it never gets old. Maybe because they keep doing new stuff, but it never gets old to bag on the Kings. And the clicks go crazy.
See, I think the other team that kind of falls in this category, and they haven't been as bad, they have like some bright moments, but the Chicago Bears are one where it's just like everyone has fun making fun of them. Every time something bad happens.
That's just the quarterback thing, though.
Okay, maybe it is just the quarterback thing. Maybe with the Kings.
No, Kyle, you've never, ever, the Mitch Trubisky, when the guy missed the field goal, they could have won a playoff. Kyle, you've never seen anything like yesterday with the Bears, ever. Yesterday I got home, and I looked at my phone, and, I'm catching up for the last 5 hours because I'm on, I got my tabs open here just for news. You've never seen anything like that.
Okay, fine. Does Jets sound better?
Maybe the Jets.
Okay, so Jets is the version that we're looking
the Jets.
At here.
Because now Aaron Glenn and his dancing and the 0-6, maybe the Jets.
No, you say that, but I still, every time something happens, I still see the meme of Aaron Rodgers running out with the flag, and that was 2 teams ago.
The Jets might be there. The Jets might be there. Teams that people just love to bag on. And the Kings are the only small, like I said, small market, though. Small market that they are large market when it comes time to bag on them. Then they're on everyone's ticker. They're everywhere. When we return, like I said, and I take no pride in saying this season could change a lot due to injuries, and there are some big names already that won't be available. What about Domantas Sabonis? Sound South, Sactown Sports.
This Sactown Sports 49ers report is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville, located beside the Vacaville outlets. The 49ers lose in Tampa Bay on Sunday, 30-19, but far worse for San Francisco. They lose their all-pro linebacker Fred Warner for the season with a devastating broken and dislocated right ankle. San Francisco comes home to take on Atlanta for Sunday Night Football. You can catch all the action beginning at 4 o'clock right here on Sactown Sports 1140.
Football season is here at Kia of Vacaville. You can score big in a new 2025 Kia Niro LX with up to 53 MPG combined at Kia of Vacaville. Perfect for road trips, tailgates, and cruising to Levi Stadium in style and comfort. But don't wait. Inventory is limited at Kia of Vacaville, and these deals won't last long. Visit KiaVacaville.com or stop by right next to the Vacaville outlets for friendly service, easy shopping, and unbeatable value. All in one stop. Kia of Vacaville, where the adventure begins.
I found out that one of my players was vaping, and I said, hey, right now's the time to be honest with me. And he said almost everybody in my team was vaping. The next day, all the parents came in. I said, how many of you guys think that your kids are vaping? Not one of them raised their hand. There's a joint fight to make something better. We don't sit back and let it happen.
Coach Sanchez is exposing Big Tobacco's playbook. Learn how he and other Californians are beating Big Tobacco at undo.org.
What was that? That is business phone bliss with the Ooma Cloud phone system. It handles all our voice, video, and messaging needs.
You sound very...
Calm? I am. Ooma has everything I need to run my business more efficiently, like virtual receptionist, call routing, and video conferencing. And it starts at just $19.95 per month per user, plus taxes and fees.
Ooma.
Nice. Find your business comm at ooma.com/radio.
Morning, Zoe. Got donuts.
Jeff Bridges, why are you still living above our garage?
Well, I dig the mattress, and I want to be in a T-Mobile commercial like you. Teach me, Saldana.
Oh, no, I'm not really prepared. I couldn't possibly. At T-Mobile, get the new iPhone 17 Pro on them. It's designed to be the most powerful iPhone yet and has the ultimate pro camera system.
Wow, impressive. Let me try. T-Mobile is the best place to get iPhone 17 Pro because they've got the best network.
Nice, Jeffrey.
You heard them. T-Mobile is the best place to get the new iPhone 17 Pro on us with eligible trade-in in any condition.
So, what are we having for lunch?
Dude, my work here is done.
The 24-monthly bill credits on Experience Beyond for well-qualified customers plus tax and $35 device connection charge. Credits end and balance due if you pay off earlier. Cancel finance agreement. iPhone 17 Pro, 256 gigs, $1,099.99, and new line minimum $100 plus a month plan with autopay plus taxes and fees required. Best mobile network in the U.S. based on analysis by Ookla Speed Test Intelligence data 1H2025. Visit T-Mobile.com.
Ready to boogie? November 1st at the venue, Thunder Valley Casino. Saturday Night Dance Fever featuring Colin the Gay, Heatwave, Tavares, The Tramps, hosted by Denny Terrio. Saturday Night Dance Fever, November 1st at Thunder Valley Casino. Tickets at Ticketmaster.com. A World One Presents event.
Sactown Sports has your ticket to the biggest live events going on in our region. First up, get in the game Halloween weekend at the Sinners and Saints Halloween Party and Costume Contest at the venue at Thunder Valley, October 25th. Then, country fans, the spotlight's on the brand new Channel 24 venue in Sacramento as Cameron Marlowe takes the stage October 28th. Comedy lovers, don't miss the one and only Trevor Noah, November 9th at the venue at Thunder Valley. The action keeps rolling with Jesse McCartney at Channel 24 Sacramento on November 14th. The same night, legends, the Isley Brothers bring the soul to Hard Rock Live. Rock icons Heart storm Hard Rock Live on November 21st, followed by the Stray Cats November 23rd. Laugh it up with Mike Epps on December 5th at Hard Rock Live Sacramento. Sactown Sports is your home court for live events. Head to SactownSports.com. That's SactownSports.com for more info.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the best selection of new and pre-owned vehicles. All of them top quality, hand-selected by their general manager, Chuck Dean. You can see for yourself their huge selection at SacSuperstore.com with the lowest prices and the best car buying experiences anywhere. Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140.
on Sactown Sports.
A lot of names, man. A lot of names that are not going to be available to kick off the 2025-2026 NBA season. Jalen Green, as the Kings will be taking on the Suns out there in Club Phoenix. LeBron, De'Aaron Fox, pretty much the whole Grizzlies starting lineup. Tyler Hero, Scoot Henderson, Darius Garland, Lauri Markkanen. What's going on, man?
He's got a wrist issue.
They're stuck. You know what's crazy? I know there's always a conversation about Zach LaVine and his contract and how expensive it is and blah, 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 what we've always heard. But I don't know, man. I mean, based on the numbers, Zach LaVine every year you get by, I think Zach LaVine drops down because there's just less years, right? The AAV is still bad, but there's less years. I'm telling you right now, Zach LaVine, in my opinion, much more desirable contract than Lauri Markkanen is 20. He's already 28, and he's in the first year of and this is what Danny Ainge gets. To be honest with you, the first year of a 4-year deal, 46.3. You talk about empty calories. You talk about Domantas Sabonis not showing up with the Warriors. Markkanen had not even been there.
Yeah, they messed it up.
Badly. Can we bag on them? Hey, Bill Simmons and Zach Lowe, go actually they did. They were the team that they said, what are they doing? That was another one. But $46 million year 1, 28 years old. $46 million year 2, 29 years old. 49.8, 30 years old. 53.5 at 31 years old. And I got to hear Kings fans complain about $28 million a year for Keegan Murray. Are you kidding me? I would say that Zach LaVine, if somebody is looking for an upgrade, not same position, Zach LaVine is much more desirable than Lauri Markkanen right now.
Well, Zach LaVine's value has gotten better in part because A, the contract is 1 year shorter, but 2, he was healthy all last season, and B, he had his most efficient season of his career, which is the big pivot you kind of have to make as you go into your 30s, right? Because Zach LaVine is nobody's number one best player anymore. Mm-hmm. On the Kings, he's going to be a number 2 because he has to be. But in my mind, he's kind of like a high-end number 3 at this point. Like I said, if you put Zach LaVine in the Michael Porter Jr. role on the Nuggets, they would win the championship because he's a high-end number 3 with Jokic And they have Aaron Gordon, who now has bag work,
Yeah.
and Jamal Murray, which I guess you can call him a number 2. I kind of think he's the number 3 on that team at this point. So that kind of idea of Zach LaVine can be a high-end number 3, but he's getting paid number 1 prices. Markkanen, he might be a high-end number 4, but he's getting paid number 1 prices for 4 more years. Like, Markkanen, I think of similar to Mikal Bridges, where, like, Brooklyn played that perfect. They used a season and a half to rebuild his trade value and traded him for 6 first-round picks. And then you look back at the KD trade, they got 10 first-round picks for Kevin Durant, counting the ones they got for Bridges. Utah messed it up, and, like, they used a year and a half to build up Markkanen and then cashed him out instead of trading him when his value was the highest.
Right, because they didn't think that they were getting enough. I mean, a lot of these stories, though, are similar. They just don't double down, right? Like, I don't think the Nets did the Cam Johnson thing perfectly, but if I'm not I know for a fact Michael Porter Jr. does not have 4 years left, so they didn't get anything. They didn't really, did they? Because they didn't get a pick with Michael Porter Jr. They just got Michael Porter Jr.
You're saying the Nuggets?
The Nets.
The Nets got 2032 unprotected.
Okay, so you got a pick, and so yes, you got a pick, and you got Michael Porter Jr., who is probably overpaid, but there's not 4 years left.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant, the Blazers just said, we're just going to hold on to him, but it's still not this.
They got no choice.
Right. It's still not this. But so my point is there are a lot of situations where these teams do hold on for too long, and this is a bad one.
We did the exercise over the summer of what are the worst contracts in the NBA, and there were 3 we could definitively say were definitely worse than Zach LaVine. There were others that were like in the mix, but we definitively could say Jeremy Grant, which do you know how bad you have to be like $35 million, and everyone agree it's a bad deal.
Yeah.
Jeremy Grant, Paul George, and Larry Markkanen. Those were the 3 that we could definitively say LaVine's contract not as bad as those ones. But after that, there is some debate because it's not like LaVine's contract is great.
Yeah. So, yeah, that Markkanen thing is nuts. And that's what I keep saying, right? Obviously the Kings aren't healthy. We'll get into this Sabonis update in a second here, but the Kings aren't healthy, but other teams aren't healthy either. LeBron, we'll see what happens with the Lakers, because I think LeBron is not an easy person to add in and out of the lineup. There are reports that LeBron will be out going into November. So what happens with the Lakers? I don't think the Lakers will fall off a cliff by any stretch of the imagination, but this is all to start the season. So unfortunately, the Kings aren't healthy, but this is what we're talking about. Even just to start the season, you never know what could happen with these teams and how the season could twist and turn. Look, that's what people said about the Beam Team season. A lot of these teams weren't healthy. Obviously, the Kings were good and number 1 efficiency in the history of the NBA at the time, but there was also some injuries and things that other teams were dealing with. So who can take advantage of that and kind of buck the trend on what Vegas thinks? What's up, Kyle?
We have that's sort of breaking news.
Oh, I know.
Yeah,
Don't not play it. If this is what I think, do not play
it's the AJ Green for the Bucks getting $45 million. Keon Market, but he's not as good as Keon.
Yeah, great story though. Milwaukee Bucks guard AJ Green agreed to a 4-year, $45 million fully guaranteed contract. Sham says tremendous success story for the Bucks, an Iowa native who went from undrafted in 2022 to making the NBA and $45 million. So that's like you said.
I know another Iowa native from the 2022 draft class that got cashed out.
There you go. Yeah, like you said, a good story and very similar to Keon. I think in circles, Keon is viewed. And I think that's a note to Keon's market, though. But that's a very similar story to Keon, and I don't know what it is about that draft. Maybe there just was something in the water, and there were a bunch of guys that, just a lot of found money. And obviously, the Bucks are in a similar position to the Kings, where they don't have a ton of money to throw around. But AJ Green is making 11, so a little less than what Keon is probably going to get. AJ Green getting $11.2 million a year, Keon looking to get somewhere near 14, maybe even that was his value when we calculated it last season. Might be even more than that this season. Could be less based on the 8,000 guards that the Kings have. We have a little bit of a Domantas Sabonis update for you. Hopefully we have more of one in the 1 o'clock hour, but we kick that off for you when we return. Also, we break down the differences between Keegan Murray, Jabari Smith Jr., and what Sean Cunningham had to say on the show yesterday about his thoughts on the trade deadline. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
This is the story of the one. As a safety manager at a manufacturing plant, he does everything he can to keep his coworkers safe. From finding ways to reduce risks to keeping safety supplies in stock. And for that, he relies on Grainger. Grainger offers a broad range of quality products and next-day delivery, so he can always play it safe. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Mike Rowe here with another fun fact. If your concrete is cracked or uneven, you can actually lift it back up. Whether it's a sinking driveway, a patio, or a sidewalk, do yourself a favor. Call Groundworks. I spent some time working with these guys. They're the real deal. Their people are trained and certified to lift your concrete slabs.
Groundworks, official foundation repair company of Cal Athletics. Schedule a free inspection. Licensed in all states where work is performed. See website for details.
Power Business Technology is proud to be a 100% independent, locally owned and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a Toshiba ProMasters Elite dealer since 2021. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729. Or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave here, talking to you about my good friends at American Energy Heating and Air. Now, they are upgrading their offerings to you to include plumbing, bringing that same expertise and experience into the plumbing space. They're no longer just heat and air. They're now your American Energy Home Pros. And you've heard me talk about them for years as your second opinion partner. Now you can still get a second opinion on any HVAC service or replacement, but now you can also get a second opinion on any of your plumbing services. And when you really think about it, how do we know how much it's supposed to cost? At the very least, you'll know you're in the ballpark, and I can all but guarantee you they'll beat the price. They'll come out for free. They'll give you a second opinion. And all you got to do is give them a call, 916-520-9990. That's 916-520-9990 or AmericanEnergyAir.com. Serving the greater Sacramento area since 1981. American Energy, making the uncomfortable comfortable.
Sacramento Kings basketball is back. Be there for opening night at Golden One Center on Friday, October 24th, when the Kings take on the Utah Jazz at 7 p.m. Following opening night, the Kings will take on the LA Lakers on October 26th and then the Golden State Warriors on November 5th. Don't miss these marquee matchups and more great games coming to Golden One Center this season. Head to kings.com/tickets to secure your seat to be part of the action.
Sacramento. Buckle up. Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet is dropping one day of insane DeWalt deals on October 18th. Bare tools, batteries, and kits will be at insanely low prices. Spend $1,000 on DeWalt products and get $75 off your order instantly. Spend $100 and get a lotto scratcher with prizes up to $1,000 off your next order. That's one day only. October 18th at Fasteners Inc. Tool Outlet, 6701 Power Inn Road. For more info, visit fastenersinc.net. Fasteners Inc. Better tools, better prices.
Tired of hearing scary radio ads about the IRS? Tax Relief Advocates is different. TRA is here to tell you that if you owe money to the IRS, whether it's $5,000 or $500,000, we have a solution. TRA can eliminate or reduce what you owe to the IRS with zero risk to you. We have over 1,000 5-star reviews on Google and an A+ with a BBB. End your tax nightmare today by visiting TRA.com or call 800-275-1728. That's 800-275-1728.
Progressive's Teen Driver Discount could lower the cost of insurance for your teenager and save you some money. And then you can still spend money on them. Because just when you think you have a grasp on spending, new sneakers! And then it's money for a school field trip, and of course spending money. Oh yeah, and a new phone to replace the one they dropped in the toilet. Oh, don't remind me. So just get Progressive's Teen Driver Discount. And then you can continue to spend money on them endlessly.
Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Discount not available in all states and subject to terms and conditions.
Just announced, Stockton Honda has been named #1 of California's best car dealers in 2025 by USA Today and Statista. This prestigious award is based on thousands of customer reviews and recommendations, ranking dealerships for service, value, and satisfaction. Out of hundreds evaluated, Stockton Honda is proud to be #1, recognized for all-around excellence and commitment to our customers. Visit Stockton Honda, where reputation meets the road.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
KHD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD3 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
This is
before they visit the Phoenix Suns in Wednesday's season opener. An extended absence for Sabonis would be another crippling blow for a team that is already missing Keegan Murray, who is expected to miss at least 4 to 6 weeks after undergoing surgery to repair an ulnar collateral ligament tear in his left thumb. Doug Christie says, quote, "Listen, your star player goes down. You never want to see that, period." Christie said, "I can't speculate on what it is. Hopefully it's nothing. We have some time before the first game, but those are things you just don't want to see. But it's part of what we do. It's the same thing with Keegan. As unfortunate as it is, it's just part of our game." So that's what Doug Christie had to say about it. Yeah, we'll see what the breakdown is whenever that comes out. And the reality is, if Domantas Sabonis misses any time, you know, it's weird because we've had these conversations, and one of the most overlooked storylines of 2024 was the fact that even in those 30 games before the Kings moved on from Mike Brown, which subsequently led to moving on from De'Aaron Fox, even though that happened, within those 30 games, DeMar DeRozan missed time with his back. Domantas Sabonis missed time. I believe Keegan Murray missed time as well. I believe Malik Monk missed time. It was really De'Aaron Fox who was just out there, and that's when he dropped that, 100 points in 2 games.
108 in 24 hours.
Yeah, in 24 hours. So that all was part of the decision. Even when they moved on from Mike Brown, that didn't get talked about. And I do think, again, the overlooked storyline is it's a very small what if. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, you know, the Warriors, and if Steph doesn't go down, they would have beat the Thunder, which I highly doubt. I'm not saying that. But if these guys were all healthy to start the season and got to play those first 30 games all together, what would that have looked like? I'm not saying that's why the Kings decided to keep it going, because I just think the Kings wanted to keep it going. But now going into this season, if Domantas Sabonis has to miss time, Keegan is missing 20 games, do they say, all right, maybe this just wasn't for us, and decide to move on from it? Because 20 games, I mean, that's a good part of the season. Or do they say, no, this is a reason to run this back next season because we didn't get a good shot at it all healthy? That would be, I think, a lot of people's fears. I don't know that I can't even say, I want to say I don't think that'd be the case. I truly don't know. But yeah, that's something that we talked about on this show, just as far as the fact that the Kings didn't even get 30 games together because they were all injured at different times. They probably got about 20 games together.
I remember it was 10 before the first round of injuries started because I think it was DeRozan who went out first? Malik went out. DeRozan went out. That's when Fox had the crazy 101 points. Then Keegan was out for a couple games. Then they brought in Jay Crowder. Then Malik came back. Then DeRozan came back. So I think it probably was like 15 games, but the 5 when they had all came back was like DeRozan bobbled the pass against the Nuggets. The Pacers game where they were tied at halftime and got blown out the building. Obviously, the Jaden Ivey 4-point play game. Like, there was some weird losses mixed in, too. I can't remember if it was that time where they had, like, the game where they had a 15-point lead they blew in the fourth quarter. But it was that stretch of 5 straight losses where it was, like, weird stuff. Oh, Rich Paul showing up at the Lakers games. Remember that when they were in Sacramento? So it was like there was weird stuff happening all throughout it even, too.
Yeah, so, he showed up, and he's just staring at everyone. You better not lose this game. Then I'm guessing, I assume they lost whatever game that was because that's just a good guess.
Well, yeah, they lost 5 in a row. Yeah.
And then the meeting happened, and then everything just went to you-know-what. So...
Well, then they decided to fire the coach. Rich Paul's reaction of, hey, get it together. Their reaction was, actually, we're just going to fire De'Aaron's coach.
Yeah, we're going to...
And not blame it on De'Aaron, but not publicly say this wasn't De'Aaron's fault.
There's going to get information. Look, we've been over it time and time again. So now going into this season, you already don't have Keegan, and we know how important he is. Those are the 2 guys you actually could not do without. Right, because we all, why not? Yeah, I'm not going to say it the way I was saying, but there are a lot of guards, right? The injuries that you've sustained are at positions where you cannot afford to sustain them on top of who they are. Keegan is your only true 4, if he's even a true 4. They've made him a true 4 on this team. Domantas Sabonis is your number 1 center. The only other guy, Drew Eubanks. So you got 8,000 guards. So you could afford to lose a couple of them. Not that you want to, but you could. But that's not who you lost. So this is already starting out on the wrong foot. We'll find out if Domantas Sabonis is slated to miss time. But if he is slated to miss time, I'm just not really sure what the Kings are going to be able to do. I mean, and we know, let's just say, and it's been a while since we've done it because I've been trying to hold back doing it because I know next week the season starts anyway. But here we go, right? To start the season, you're at Suns, you host the Jazz, you host the Lakers with no LeBron, then you go to OKC, you go to Chicago, you go to Milwaukee, you go to Denver, you host the Warriors, you host the Thunder, and that's for the Kimpton Sawyer night, by the way. That's November 7th. You host, and that's the group stage, like you said, Kyle, NBA Cup. You host the Timberwolves. You host the Nuggets. You host the New Look Hawks. You then go back to the Timberwolves for group stage. You go to De'Aaronville. I don't know if he'll be playing by then, November 16th. You go to the Thunder. You go to the Grizzlies. You go to Denver. You host the Timberwolves. You're your best friends. You play the Timberwolves again. Then you get a break November at the end of November as you host the Suns and then go to Utah and then host the Grizzlies. December 3rd, we're already in December at this point. You go to Houston.
And then maybe Keegan Murray comes back.
So outside of all the jokey jokes from everyone, if you don't have your guys, this whole thing is cooked.
See, I was going to wait until maybe closer to the season next week, but we should at some point just do a segment where, like, without even thinking, I just need you to yes, no, all the games and just see what record you come up with.
Right, because, okay, let's even say, and we don't know, we're just speculating, but let's say it's a small thing and it's, I don't know, 3 games, right? 3 games, that would be great, but I'm just saying because that's the first big road trip, right? So Suns, host the Jazz, you host the Lakers. So even those first 3 games, I think you can get. I don't know if you can get the Suns without Domantas Sabonis. I know they won't have Jalen Green, but I don't know if you can get the Suns. You should be able to get the Jazz, but you're not getting the Lakers without Sabonis. And if he can't go on this road trip at Thunder, at Bulls, at Bucks, at Nuggets, the only win we were probably already looking at was the Bulls. You could probably lose to the Bulls without Domantas Sabonis. I'm be honest with you.
All right, let's just go through here. So you're saying win against the Suns, win against the Jazz, lose against the Lakers. Let's say they're 2-1. So you're going to go OKC,
L,
Bulls.
Got to be a W.
All right, we'll say has to be Milwaukee,
L,
Denver,
L.
Home against the Warriors.
I think it'll be really competitive, but I don't know. People are starting to make me drink the Kool-Aid with the Warriors, so L.
All right. Home against the Thunder, Kimpton Sawyer night.
Yeah. Jalen Williams does not play because he doesn't have to, but L.
Jalen Williams isn't available.
No, that's what I'm saying. He wasn't available last season either, anytime the Kings played them, and they lost by 20 every time.
Home against the Timber Pups.
They're gonna beat them once, so I'll say win.
All right. Home against the Nuggies.
L.
I need faster. Hawks, home.
W.
All right. Road against Minnesota.
L.
A road in De'Aaronville, the Riverwalk.
I can't do it. W.
All right.
Do I believe it? Doesn't matter.
OKC Road.
L.
Memphis Road.
W.
All right. Denver Road.
L.
Home Minnesota.
L.
Home Phoenix.
W.
Road Utah.
W.
Then home Memphis.
L.
And then that one Houston game you were talking about.
Super L.
All right. So that leaves us with 9 and 13.
No Sabonis, no Keegan. I mean, that would be a win, in my opinion.
So in order to get to 48 wins from that, just doing quick math, they would have to go 39 and 21 the rest of the season. Which
to get to 40.
To get to 48.
Okay.
Which would be, so they'd have to have a 65% win percentage the rest of the season to get to the 8 seed.
Yeah.
To get to 40, it's, relatively reasonable.
Yeah, look, it doesn't matter about the optics and, the national narratives, any of that. The reality is Keegan Murray being out completely derails the start of this season. And if Domantas Sabonis is out too, this whole thing it might be over. Now, some people might say it was already over before it started, Allen, but you don't even get to give it a go.
Yeah, a lot of this is going to be treading water, right? Regardless of who ends up playing the 4, which we seem to be in agreement they're going to kind of do it by matchup. Mm-hmm. Who's going to end up playing the 4? Like some nights it's going to be Saric, some nights it's going to be Clifford, some nights it might even be Keon Ellis moving DeRozan to the 4 if you can get away with that against a small team. So even if they mix and match, it's going to be a lot of treading water until they can potentially get to that break in the schedule that I think comes in December, I want to say. I'm trying to remember. They have a nice break somewhere in there where they play Portland a couple times. January they play mostly at home, I think it was, but a lot of the early part of the season is going to be treading some water.
Yeah, and just for fun, if you want to call it that, and they're literally all Western Conference teams, but Tankathon.com strength of schedule has the Kings sitting 8th. Okay, number 1 is Utah. Number 2 is Portland. Number 3 is Phoenix. Number 4, Phoenix just never catches a break when it comes to strength of schedule. Number 4 is New Orleans. Number 5 is San Antonio. Number 6 is Dallas. Number 7 is Memphis. Number 8 is Sacramento. And this is always weird just because the West is so much better than the East. So all of the Eastern let me see where the lowest, somehow, some way, I don't know how they pull this off, but the Houston Rockets, we know what Adam Silver's up to, but the Houston Rockets have the 3rd easiest schedule. But besides that, and this is really weird, besides that, you have the Thunder at 22 out of 30, the Nuggets at 21, the Lakers at 19, but it's mostly Eastern Conference teams down there.
Which makes sense because you just play so many of those teams. I also forgot to mention in our 22-game stretch that the dreaded road back-to-backs, the Kings have 2 of those in there. Both after leaving Oklahoma City, they go to Chicago and to Memphis. So the 2 of your wins are road back-to-back nights, too. Right. So it's going to be a gauntlet all throughout the season, but we talked about this when the schedule came out. All their games are structured against the West early, and then those East games all kind of come up in March and April. So like the quote-unquote easy games all happen to be after the trade deadline, after this thing might be cooked. Because there's that stretch in March where they play like Bulls, Pacers, Hornets, Clippers is a little tough, but then Utah, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, Charlotte, Orlando's tough, Brooklyn again, at Toronto. Like they have a stretch in there in March and April where things get easy, but to your point earlier, things might already be cooked by that point. Who knows what this roster is going to look like come that easy stretch?
Yeah, anything after March or anything after the trade deadline, I'm not even really paying attention to, because we have absolutely no clue what this whole thing is going to look like.
Yeah, and that's just a bad break in the way the schedule came out for them, is that their easiest part of the schedule is the final, let's call it fifth of the season. So their final 15 to 20 games are the easy part of the schedule for them. And unfortunately, that's all going to come after the All-Star break. And by the All-Star break, we're going to have a representative sample of what this team is, even if it's the quote-unquote hard part of their schedule.
Kyle, do we have the Sean Cunningham sound available? All right, let's hear from Sean Cunningham. We spoke to him. We talked to about 5-6 people yesterday, and it's all on YouTube if you want to check that out. This was Sean, and one of the last questions that I asked him about what he thought the Kings may do if things don't go in the right direction. This is what Sean had to say.
Yeah, I mean, the feel I get, and again, it's a question that's probably obviously better asked for Scott Perry and Vivek Ranadive for sure, but the feeling that I get in conversations that I've had for the greater part of the past 2 years is they're going to do everything in their power to remain competitive and see it through, right? So I don't think there's an appetite with this group to blow it up, to do any sort of rebuild. Now, if things go, if you're looking at, a really abysmal record coming into the trade deadline, or maybe even before that, decisions that might accelerate some things or change maybe the calculus and what they're thinking in terms of their future. But I just don't think that they're built to try to blow it up and try to rebuild. I think it's much like, I think the vision will be similar to what you had heard from Monty McNair before, which was to rebuild the roster, be able to compete, to maybe tinker a little bit, but I don't think they're looking at taking steps backwards. Now, that being said, adding somebody like Russell Westbrook kind of proves that a little bit. Trying to add somebody, Russell Westbrook's not trying to go to a team where he's going to a rebuilding situation. Obviously, it's a 1-year minimum deal, so if it doesn't work this year, maybe they revisit that in the summertime. But I think everything is leading up to 2027. If you look at kind of how their books are constructed from a salary cap and contractual situation, a lot of the money that's on this team hits a cliff in 2027. So I think the organization feels that it owes it to this fan base and to some of the pieces that they've added to this team to see it through. And it doesn't take a whole lot to be able to change things rather quickly. But again, that belief and actually being able to do something, it gets harder. I think there's a lot of teams that are going to be looking to get off of bloated contracts, and maybe the Kings can be the beneficiary of that. Certainly, they've got a cupboard full of draft picks and assets that they have at their disposal. I don't think but the long-winded answer there, Alan, is I just don't think that there's an appetite to rebuild and to do that quite yet. And so while a lot of teams, people recognize that to do that and build through the draft is probably the biggest recipe for success to be able to build off of. Certainly the draft, just look at your history. The draft, when they have done that, hasn't been kind to Sacramento. You have to hit on draft picks. And even when they've had a wealth of them and top 5 picks and all that thing, it doesn't mean it always works. So they've tried a lot of things under since Vivek Ranadive has been an owner of this team. And make no mistake, when the Kings stayed here, the goal was that, I mean, they were doing so because of a fan base that supports them, both from a business standpoint and from a fan standpoint. And personally, as someone who's grown up in the city, I think there are those that would support a rebuild that way. But I also know a lot of people that won't support it. And typically what I find, and I think I've mentioned this to you before, is that a lot of fans that say that they think that's, hey, go ahead, hit the and start over, go young, do all these things, are typically people that watch TV and watch the Kings. They don't pay to go to games. So it's easier said than done for sure. It probably gives you the best chance for your success and for your future, but there's no guarantees. And so when you've got contractual obligations to the likes of Domantas Sabonis, you're thinking of, having an extension here for Keegan Murray in his future. You brought in pieces to be able to contend and to be able to add, and it hasn't worked yet. But that doesn't mean you throw your hands up after a couple of years and hit the reset button. But I don't feel that they're close to doing that quite yet.
There are a couple, as I'm seeing people react to this, and you can listen to the whole thing and check out the whole thing on YouTube and on the Sactown Sports app. This is from yesterday. There are a couple operative words that I want people to hold on to if you are feeling as if, man, they're really going to run it, but they're never, ever going to blow it up. Because I was taking notes here after listening to it another time. And I think the operative term or phrase, and there were a couple, but I would say it's fine to not have an appetite to blow it up. But think about what the Kings are about to deal with right now with Keegan Murray about to miss a ton of games, right? Essentially the first quarter of the season, if we're keeping it 1,000. And Sean said something, and it's very, very simple. Anything in their power, right? Or anything outside of their power. He also said if the record was bad enough. Now, look, I know some people don't want to blow it up, and that's what Sean also said. A lot of fans don't want to. But a lot of people I see chiming in saying, this is not what I want to hear. They're never going to reset. If it's bad enough and it's outside of their power, they do not have a choice. And I don't want them to be terrible. I think deep down, a lot of people don't want them to be terrible. I think a lot of people just don't want them to be stuck in the middle again. But if things go the way that they very well may go without Keegan, and if they're missing Domantas Sabonis, which would be things what? Outside of their power, then I don't believe that they would be whatever a realistic abysmal record would be getting into January, 13 wins, something just brutal, on pace for 25 wins or on pace for 30 wins. I think that they would know what they have to do. I think that Scott Perry would know what needs to be done. Would he have the autonomy to do it? That's a different conversation. That I don't know. I'm not alluding to anything. I just don't know. He's told us on these airwaves on the morning show he does. But when you're missing your two most important players, and that's what they are, and we don't know about Domantas Sabonis yet, but you are missing Keegan Murray for the first quarter of the season. That is a fact. So you're missing Keegan Murray, who is the only power forward on the team. So you're already missing him.
He's not even a power forward.
And he's not. We've turned him into that because they refused to draft one or trade for one. So you've lost him for a quarter of the season. I'm not saying this you never want guys to not be healthy, but Sean is specifically talking about things in their power, right? This is stuff that injuries are outside of their power. Maybe they flip it and they say, no, we never had a chance to see what this looked like with Keegan. We're not going to move these guys. Maybe, right? I think that would be more predicated upon if the market isn't good for whoever is on this team and whoever is available. But I do think that the start of the season completely has flipped because of this Keegan injury, because of how many games he's going to miss.
Yeah, I mean, whether he was the most important player, the second most important player, it was already going to be rough on defense. this is only going to make it harder for them to be a good defensive team, which, if you look at the stretch of games that we just went through earlier in the segment, like, you've got some really strong offenses too. Like, that's the other part of this. Like, put Chicago aside, like, Phoenix, which is one of the wins you had on here, or two of the wins, Phoenix is a team built on their offense. Utah, I don't know what Utah does well, so we can kind of ignore that. But, like, Phoenix is built on offense. Memphis is built on offense. Like, obviously Oklahoma City. The Atlanta Hawks are a defensive-minded team, but Trae Young, you know what he did the last time the Hawks were here. Like, even some of these fringe games, you've got strong offenses. The San Antonio Spurs are supposed to be better if they can all learn how to shoot, but in theory, with Wemby, they are a top half offense in the league. So it's very interesting to see how this whole thing is going to piece together. Even under the most ideal of circumstances, they're going to have to be able to defend somebody. And if they go with Dario Saric in place of Keegan, that's 3 negative defenders on the floor for your starting lineup. And Schroeder, who we have to like convince ourselves is at least a league average defender.
On the other side, we have some information on the MLB lockout that is looming in 2027. Is there a little bit too much complaining going on? Do I have to defend the Dodgers? I don't want to do that. Also, the unction hits the gridiron tonight as Joe Flacco takes on Aaron Rodgers. We'll get you started for some Thursday night football. And, of course, rounding out all the Kings talk. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
When I was a kid, I remember my dad, a lineman, leaving in the middle of the night. Families were depending on him to get their power back on to keep them safe and warm. Watching him taught me that this work isn't just about wires and circuits. It's about people and the trust they place in us when the lights go out. That's why I started Maverick Electric Heating and Air, to carry on that same promise of showing up, doing it right, and protecting families when they need us most. Visit callamaverick.com.
Footballs are flying. The days are getting shorter. Fall is officially here. Will your heater be able to get you through the winter? The heater at Whiteywood shut down last winter. So who did we call? Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating. We wanted somebody we could trust to do the job right and deliver great value, and Lee's came through. Check them out at leesair.com. Lee's Air Plumbing and Heating has built a reputation as the leading HVAC company in Sacramento. We've got a new HVAC system that works great, saves us money month to month. Find out how they can help you at leesair.com. License number 635355.
Coverage varies by plan. View contracts and exclusions at endurancewarranty.com.
This is an announcement to all United States vehicle owners who own a 2003 or newer vehicle with a manufacturer's warranty about to expire or no warranty coverage at all. With a struggling economy and the cost of living on the rise, Endurance is now offering an affordable, low-cost vehicle coverage plan to the general public. As of today, you could be one of millions of drivers that now may qualify to have your vehicle protected under this coverage and have all future covered auto repairs paid directly to the repair shop for you. You pick your plan. You pick your deductible. You even pick the repair shop. Roadside service, towing, and rental coverage is included. Get your vehicle protected now and save your wallet from costly vehicle repairs. A toll-free number has been established for you to call for your free 5-minute quote and to see if you qualify. The number to call is 800-292-0975. 800-292-0975. Again, that's 800-292-0975.
Sacramento Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram has the biggest selection, the best prices, and unbeatable customer service. Check them out online, SacSuperstore.com, for the guaranteed lowest price on Chrysler, Dodge, Jeep, and Ram. Open until 10 o'clock and right across from Hagen Oaks Golf Course. SacSuperstore.com.
A men's health moment with Revive Men's Health.
1 in 3 men over 45 may have low testosterone. Revive Men's Health offers free T-checks and tailored treatment plans, so you can get back to feeling like yourself.
Learn more at ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Stockton 99 Speedway, Saturday, October 18th. It's championship night. Late models, modified sprint cars, and the insane trailer racing. Plus a huge fireworks show to light up the sky. Tickets start at just $20. Don't miss the season finale. Stockton99.com.
Shop top brand tires at Big O with the lowest tire price guarantee. Now through October 19th, get up to $100 instant savings on 4 select in-stock Nitto, Nexen, or Toyo brand tires. Installation required, disposal fees extra, not good with other offers. See Big O dealer for details.
Hey everyone, it's Kyle Draper here. If you're in the market for a new car, let me tell you about my experience with Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. From the moment I walked into their state-of-the-art showroom, I knew I was making the right choice. There was no pressure from the sales staff, and if I'm being honest, I felt like a kid in a candy store. I settled on the all-electric EQS SUV, and let me tell you why. First of all, the comfort. After a long day at work, I actually look forward to being in my car. It has several different massage settings, including my favorite, hot relaxing back. Plus, the seat heating and cooling features are perfect for the hot summer or those chilly mornings. Mercedes-Benz has the reputation of making the finest cars in the world. Now it's your turn to experience what I already know. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton is the best car buying experience you'll ever have. They're just a short drive down I-5, or you can shop online anytime at mbfstockton.com. That's mbfstockton.com, and tell them Drape sent you.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emran Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland, and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Allen Stiles. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
One more segment with you before we are joined by Whitey and Watkins on a Thursday. Obviously, Thursday Night Football. So we will have some picks for you. Okay, some prop talk picks as Kyle Ledbetter, the hot hand. Okay, the hot hand these last couple weeks.
All I did was tell you that Scatterboot was going to go off and Travis Kelce does well after Taylor Swift drops an album. I feel like this isn't scientific.
That's a hot hand, baby. It's a hot hand. I did want to pay off this tease, though. This is from 916 Silva. Says, Allen, appreciate after watching the first 3 preseason games. Can you ask your boy Schmallen Miles if he would take the over or under on the Kings in Vegas? This is a tough one, 916 Silva. This is very tough. Are we going, Kyle, should we go at 34.5 or 35.5?
Let's say 35.5. Really test yourself.
Look, man, everything has a reason. And everything has a purpose. And this really pains me. And as of right now, we don't know if Domantas Sabonis is going to miss time or not. And I would even check, Kyle, should we actually double check that the line hasn't moved with Keegan Murray's injury?
I mean, but we checked it on, what, Tuesday?
Yeah, that's true. It was before, after the Westbrook thing.
Yeah, we checked it after Westbrook, so.
Look, man. 916 Silva is asking Schmallen Miles, so let me text him real quick.
Wow, he gets back fast.
Yeah, he's always on his phone. Schmallen
He's
Miles.
always looking at the odds.
Schmallen Miles has responded. And it's pretty simple here, 916 Silva. You have Keegan Murray slated to miss a quarter of the season. You have Domantas Sabonis, who we don't know if he's going to miss time or not, but I have to react to you right now because that's what you have. Is there an update, Kyle?
Well, no, just Sean Cunningham, MRI on his hamstring, didn't practice but will travel.
If I thought with Keegan you could smash the over, it really just means how many games are they now going to drop and where would that land them, right? So if I thought the Kings were going to win 39 games healthy or 40 games healthy, do I think losing Keegan will lose you 5 games? Yes.
Really?
You got to take the under. You have to take – I would have taken the over if Keegan was healthy. And I've been on record saying that. I don't see how they're getting to 35.5 wins with hobbled – with Keegan out for 20 and possibly Domantas Sabonis out for even 3. If they lose this Suns game, it's over.
Well, but then if they beat the Nuggets, all of a sudden we're back.
Sure. Go beat them. The Nuggets don't try until 5 minutes left in the fourth quarter, and they beat the Kings every single time.
I know that per the terms and conditions of this texter, we have to make the call right now.
Right.
I guess I would have to do the responsible thing and say I haven't seen this team play yet. I genuinely,
that's no fun.
I don't know. I don't know what if Nick Clifford comes out and he's able to guard 3s and 4s, then all of a sudden it's like, oh, now we actually have our Jake LaRavia role filled, and maybe something more. Maybe he's giving us even more than that. So then you have an added layer with Keon and whatever Eubanks. Like I don't know. I'm saying like optimistic version of this team is like it could swing wildly between like win totals based on.
Kyle, you got to give an answer.
I'm not gonna. Unlike Schmal and Miles, I know how to say no.
Okay. Well.
But also the under.
Well, you're a scaredy cat. That's what it is.
Yeah, but also I'll take the over.
The over.
Yeah, I'll take the over.
Yeah, I can't. Like I said, we can do this officially because we got to know. I mean, Domantas Sabonis. Like I said, I don't know 916 Silva if you're on your way to Vegas or on your way to Reno, but I wouldn't do anything today. I would do absolutely nothing today because we got to find out what's up with Domantas Sabonis. You know, the only way I would go today if you if you have to do something today is I would go backwards. I would say under. That's the safest thing to do.
Yeah, but they got Westbrook now, Allen. And as Mark Jones said, Russell Westbrook is winning the Nuggets playoff games. So who knows how many wins we're adding with Westbrook.
Yeah, I do want to see it though. I do want to see the spectacle. So he's supposed to meet with them in LA tomorrow.
Allegedly.
Yeah. In LA tomorrow, and he's going to have to play center if Domantas Sabonis can't play, so there's that.
God, I forgot about that. They might not have Keegan and Sabonis.
Well, Sabonis is definitely not playing tomorrow. Why would he play tomorrow?
You think Scott Moak is already rehearsing his starting at center from whatever college it was, Drew Eubanks?
Yep. Yeah, and the thing about Drew Eubanks, there are a lot of Kings fans I saw yesterday. Remember when we had him on the show and he said, I'm just to the point of my career, I just need to shoot the ball. It's so funny knowing that and seeing everybody saying, why is Drew Eubanks shooting the ball so much?
Well, hey, Drew Eubanks, you ever wanted to run point center? Now's your chance. By the way, he's from Oregon State.
Okay.
So
Beaver.
Yes. From college teammates with GP2. At 6'10", from Oregon State, number 19, Drew Eubanks. Opening night, season filled with hope.
Oh,
Drew Eubanks and Dario Saric.
That's crazy.
A season filled with hope and optimism.
You know where this is getting, and I hope that they do not go in this direction. There is always a chance, specifically with the Kings, there's a chance that they go in the wrong direction, and very similar to the Niners, right? Different situation because the Niners are 4-2, but the Niners, they've lost Nick Bosa, they've lost Fred Warner. The Niners are still connected to some pass rushers where people still think that they might go get someone because the NFC is wide open, right? This could go in the direction, which is a very scary one, where the Kings say, well, I guess we need to go get somebody and give up draft capital to get someone.
There's a difference, though. Like, in basketball, singular players matter more than football. Second, the 49ers have an on-the-track-to-be future Hall of Fame head coach and play caller who's probably making up for some of these talent deficiencies versus the Kings have, with no disrespect at all, Doug Christie.
Look, all I'm saying is that the Kings could say, well, we got to put a good product out there, and we already needed another power forward anyway. Let's go give up a first rounder to go get whoever. And I know you'd have to make the money match, but hey, let's say, I know we always use the Mavs, but hey, Mavs, we'll give you Malik in a low-level first, a pick swap, whatever, to go get P.J. Washington.
I wouldn't hate that.
Well, I'm saying that we might be in that because the injuries have happened too early. We might be in we need to save the season, and we might need to do what needs to be done to save the season.
Well, I guess good news for you, Allen, is that because the NBA, you can't trade all of these contracts until December 15th. I mean, we talked about this yesterday with Brett Siegel, right? Like, because these rosters are finalized and no one wants to make trades at this point, you might save yourself from that because what we said 9-13 was our best case scenario for that first stretch of the season.
Mm-hmm.
They would still play, counting the cup games, they would play 27 games, so a third of the season before we're even talking about trades at that point. So they would have to not just tread water, they'd have to beat some teams we're not expecting them to beat.
So by the time people can even trade others to go get, let's go get some, it might be cooked.
Well, you'll already be a third of the way through the season at that point.
There you go. Whitey Gleason and Chris Watkins join us to close out the show. Little prop talk, little baseball talk, and more. Allen Stiles, Sactown Sports.
Here's the tale of the daily Medfield. Same old pharmacy, same old bill, but those prices kept rising higher still.
Till the savings wrangler rode in, cool as can be. Tap Good RX, saving massively.
No plan? Don't matter none. Up to 80% off. The deals are done.
Discounts hitting harder than Ma's chili. Dang. That one little app does all the rest.
Save time and money on prescriptions.
Check Good RX. Good RX is not insurance.
I joined the military for my kid and his mom. I miss my son a lot. One of the things with the military is tobacco, but I saw a lot of people try to deal with mental issues. Everyone's vaping constantly. After my first hit of a vape, I was hooked like that. Once I got back home from my deployment, I caught my son trying to hit my vape. That was it. I had to quit.
Isaiah started vaping to try to deal with stress and quit because of his son. Learn how he and other Californians are rising above big tobacco at undo.org.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code POWER to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code POWER for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Thunder, feel the thunder.
It's the energy all around you.
Lightning and the thunder.
The thrill of the moments to come. The flash of lights. The rush of pure exhilaration. The roar of the crowd. See it, hear it, feel it.
Thunder, feel the thunder. Lightning and the thunder.
Thunder Valley Casino Resort. Feel the thunder.
The deals are on now at the model year-end sales event at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
Looking to own or lease? Save on year-end models and drive a brand new Accord or Civic. Visit us today at folsomlakehonda.com, your one-stop Honda shop.
As a family-owned and operated dealership since 2009, customer service is our #1 priority. Our customers love doing business with us, and you will too.
Go to folsomlakehonda.com.
Your one-stop Honda shop.
At Power Business Technology, we're not another big box corporation. We're your neighbors, locally owned and operated. We know what businesses like yours need, from reliable printers to high-performance copiers. We'll help you find the right solution with personal service you just can't get online. Need setup or support? We're just down the road and always happy to help. Power Business Technology, family hometown service with big-time solutions. Contact us today for all your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729 or visit us at powercopiers.com.
JTV, Jewelry Television. With 80,000 jewelry looks, we're kind of a big deal. Even bigger with new lines of designer handbags, fragrances, and more. And biggest of all, because you could win a 7-night stay in Bali, spending money, and thousands worth of JTV jewelry, making you kind of a big deal. Enter by December 7th at jtv.com/sweepstakes. No purchase necessary. Then watch JTV on TV or shop jtv.com for big holiday deals.
With the new IHOP value menu, $6 is all it takes to go to your happy place, where stacks of pancakes with bacon and eggs are just $6 every day. French toast, sausage, and eggs are, you guessed it, $6. And fluffy omelets come with a side of pancakes and only cost $6. Go to your happy plates every day at IHOP. $7 in some locations. Available every day for a limited time at participating restaurants in the U.S. Hours may vary. No substitutions. Not valid with other discounts or promotions. Prices may vary.
Hey, this is Greg Papa. Are you working through a major insurance claim? Sunpoint Public Adjusters can help. Sunpoint prepares, presents, and negotiates your claim with the insurance company, working only for you, making sure you get everything you're entitled to, not what just some adjuster working for an insurance company thinks you should get. Call Sunpoint today at 888-247-7865 or contact us at sunpoint.us. Sunpoint Public Adjusters, the gold standard in public adjusting.
License number 2N14884.
The excitement of the game is here, and so are the model year-end savings at Stockton Honda, the best Honda dealer in Northern California. Score big with low payments, more for your trade, and a huge selection. Don't wait. The clock is ticking at StocktonHonda.com.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
Based on the results of the study, recognized on June 18, 2025, USA Today's list of California's top car dealers 2025.
The Travel Guys, new on KHTK 1140 every Saturday at 11 a.m.
We'll make you a smarter traveler. Tips you can use on the road and at the airport, plus reports from top consumer advocates.
The Travel Guys, 11 a.m. on Sactown Sports 1140. Allen Stiles
You can join the show by texting 916-339-1140
on Sactown Sports.
Chris Watkins. Hello, Whitey to the Gleason.
Ready for crop talk.
I still had about 40 seconds in there.
Yeah, none of us doubted.
Okay,
No.
I'm just letting you know I did.
That lung capacity.
Okay, we are about to talk some baseball with Whitey Gleason, some NFL as well. But we got to get to this prop talk. I don't feel comfortable. I do not feel confident on this prop talk.
Disgusting.
And here's why. And people are saying, I don't know if you guys saw the promo, and we don't, no politics here, but the picture of Aaron Rodgers and Joe Flacco, people are saying looks like a presidential debate. The picture of them, the unction with both of them and their silver fox hair. So that's what we're doing tonight.
This is beyond the unction at this point.
Yeah.
Joe Flacco was an uncle 6 years ago in the league.
Yeah. So, Kyle, let's start with you. You seem confident. You've been hot. Let's go there.
I've got nothing. Can we do unders, please?
No.
Please.
No.
It's all
Are you doing an under?
I wasn't going to do an under. I just didn't know it was a rule.
No, you stand by it. You find something.
It's disgusting tonight. And this is the worst part. I know this game is going to be 17-13. The Bengals might not even score 13. It might be 17-10.
Okay.
It's going to be disgusting.
So you don't have anything.
Yeah.
Did
I take Myles Garrett over on sacks?
Yes.
You could do that. You could do that.
Why not?
Myles Garrett's not playing, though.
Well, that's why you couldn't.
I'm just gonna do the cop out, man. DK Metcalf has 221 yards in the last 2 games. Just gonna take the over 64.5 receiving yards.
Yeah, it's volume play. I like that.
No, here, you know what mine is? Every Bengals under. Just parlay every Bengals under.
I wouldn't do that. Okay, so Kyle, you doing DK or not?
I do. It's disgusting.
This game's so bad. Kyle is getting upset.
I tried to go T. Higgins, disgusting. Tried to go to Chase
Kyle,
Brown,
you know
disgusting.
Chase and T. Higgins hit their overs last game?
look at the other games.
They had Green Bay.
They didn't have Joe Flacco as their quarterback.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. 64.5 DK Metcalf. I'll take that.
Okay. We took the
That was the Carmichael Dave route.
No, that was the Brendan Nunez route to get there.
This is making me angry.
Okay.
After this, I'm not going to pay a single bit of attention to this.
Okay. Well, get on the 50 and you'll get home eventually. Chris Watkins, what do you have?
I'm going to take T. Higgins over receptions. Yeah, just, he had Joe Flacco for 4 days last week and had 5 receptions. So I'm feeling good. Watching their game for as little as I could against the Packers last week seemed to be forcing in a healthy way to Jamar Chase because he wanted to, reassure him, it's good. This is going to get better. Exactly. So I think there needs to be a little bit of regression to the mean with T. Higgins as well. So had a great game last week, or a good game relatively last week. I'll give him another one this week.
Can I take Kenneth Gainwell on the over on rushing attempts?
Absolutely.
Sure.
Why not?
Sure. So you think the Steelers are going to win?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Oh, guess what? Trey Hendrickson out.
Yeah, with his back.
What a disgusting game.
Yeah,
this is
with
be.
his back. And, I thought I was going to leave the honey pot. But it's just too hard to leave the honey pot when he's hit. Now, to Chris's point, he did not hit his number last game because it was hey, Jamar Chase, please like me. Chase Brown has hit his receiving yards 4 out of the last 5 games. A lot of
dump-offs. Nice.
Dump-off central, baby. 16.5 for Chase Brown. I'm not doing any of the random receivers from the Steelers. Scotty Miller at 12.5. Roman Wilson at 7.5. Then you got a mix between Jonnu Smith and the big boy, Darnell Washington.
He's a load. He's tough to bring down.
That's a lot of man right there.
Called him during the break.
That's a lot of man right there. So
Chase Brown's 16.5 receptions.
Give it to me, baby. It's got to hit eventually.
Cool.
Dump off central,
Joe
baby.
Joe Flacco checking down.
Check on down, Joe. All right? Just check on down. And Aaron, can you throw to Jonnu and stop with the Darnell madness?
Is Schmellen feeling pretty good about this game?
No.
No, he's not?
No. Schmellen might have to sit this one out.
45.5 over under. Bury the under on 45.
No, this is when it becomes
points.
an electric offensive explosion.
Thursdays are weird, Thursdays, they end up being games you can't predict. Weird things happen.
Shabuzi's there,
right?
And they're all on stage. Why are you on stage?
It's in Ohio.
Is it a concert?
Weird
I don't
things
know.
happen in
Richard
Ohio.
Sherman's dancing with Shabuzi. I don't know. Give me Scotty Miller over. I'm just kidding. Chase Brown, baby.
And who is the other random Steeler? You said Roman
Wilson.
Yeah.
Who was probably a Jet. Just sounds like a Jet.
No, I think he was picked by them.
He was a Jet.
And
all right.
It does sound like.
Who's the third?
No idea why, but yeah.
Who's the Bengals' third receiver? Do you know?
I never know how to pronounce his name. Yes, Andre.
Oh, yeah.
Andre. 18.5. All right, go Chase. And yeah, they got Samaji. So Samaji P. Ryan. What are we doing, man?
Yeah, he's always the one that'll get you.
Oh, it's a tough one today.
It's not a good one.
It's not a good one. Whitey Gleason and Whitey wants Myles Garrett, who's not playing.
Yeah, I was looking at their previous game on October 11th.
What a disaster! Which means we're all gonna hit.
Oh, you could try Trey Hendrickson instead.
Just parlay all 4 together.
So you'll be watching baseball tonight then?
I don't want to. It's over. It's over, right? It's over. It's okay. It's over. Look, here we go. Ohtani, 10 years, $700 million. Yamamoto, 12 years, $325 million. Blake Snell, 5 years, $182 million.
Keegan Murray.
5 years, $140 million. Teoscar Hernandez, $66 million. Look, Whitey, and this is how bad it is. I actually have to defend the Dodgers in a way because I do think it's crazy. This is what Pat Murphy had to say, Brewers manager. I don't even know the context, but Snell makes more money than our entire pitching staff. And he does say, and it's for good reason. It's like when these guys, when these smaller colleges play USC and they say, well, we can't compete with their NIL. I understand that that's true, but you don't say that out loud. This thing's completely cooked. What a disaster. And I don't even know if it's fool's gold for the Brewers. Good regular season, but I'll see you next season, man. And the stupid lockout because the Dodgers refuse to lose. That's what Jeff Passan's talking about. This is a nightmare, Whitey. An absolute nightmare. It's terrible.
Well, that'll be the early game, so you can still watch the other game tonight.
I won't. I will not.
You don't have a dog in that fight?
Seattle. I'll watch the Big Dumpy.
Yeah,
I'll watch Big Dumper and the crew, and they could lose. They lose, and it'd be a really weird game going back to Toronto 2-2. You lost 2 at home. Kyle, we talked about it too. You see who threw the first pitch out?
Was it Felix?
Randy Johnson, Livermore's finest, and they lost.
Does this bother you guys? Maybe I'm just a little too old school. You know how years ago, Mark Gastineau, like he'd get a sack, he'd do the sack dance, and people would say, "You're losing by 3 touchdowns." Or
That's my father. He loves doing that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Or somebody will get a first down and get all excited, like,
yeah.
Well, isn't it kind of the same thing when you hit a home run when you're down 8-1 or something, and you get to try it out, and you get everybody, like,
it's get off my lawn. Here's the issue. It is get off my lawn, Whitey, but if you don't do it, now you're a front runner.
Right.
So you have to do it. I think you have to do it.
Just kind of tone it down a little.
No.
Because,
just hold up the trident.
Did you see
getting clocked.
So you know how Fernando Tatis, I know you know this, he does a little hop skip at third base?
Yeah.
Did you see Vladdy does it between second and third? I never knew he did that. He did a big old stop in between. He did a big old stop and pop in between second and third. I'm thinking, oh my goodness. So it's like James Harden, when he was cooking it up, and Colin Cowherd would hate that. You're losing. What are you cooking? You're cooking an L. If you do it, Whitey, you got to do it. I think a better argument is don't have it. The Dodgers do their stupid
I've
little.
given up on that.
Here's the thing: the Dodgers, they have their stupid thing where they wave their hands. So if they're losing, they can just do a little one.
Yeah.
Right. You can't do a little. Maybe you should have 2 tridents. One for when you're winning, and you hold a little one when you're losing.
Right. You know the worst is when Andrew McCutchen, when he was on the Brewers a couple years ago. I don't even think it was the playoffs. And it's like a 4-2 game, and he hits a double in the 4th inning, and he goes, night, night.
That's bad. That's bad.
That's
I mean, I'd do it, but that's bad. Of course I would do it. What's coming up on the show today, guys? I love the energy here. I love it.
Short show.
Yeah, Chris Watkins with us today. Yeah.
All right.
So
that's all you need. It's really
how long is the show?
We're on till 4:30 today.
Wow, not
really
too short. Yeah,
the Thursday night game that everybody's talking about.
Hey, the unction. Chase Brown. There's some guys. There's some names here.
It's not even the unction. The Bengals are young. They just have Joe Flacco.
The Graham Punction.
You got to root,
Grandpa
if you're a
Unction.
49er fan, for the Bengals to lose because they still think we don't want to trade Hendrickson because we still might be in it.
Yeah, well, he's got the back attack, so we'll
I thought
see.
it was his hip. Is it his back?
Yeah, I don't. Yeah, my hip and my back. We'll have to check that. And why do we have that update for you? Possibly a Domantas Sabonis update as well. Hopefully, Domantas Sabonis will be okay as the Kings try to figure this whole thing out. Thank you to Marcellus. It is the hip. That's what I said. Thank you to Marcellus Howard. Thank you to all the callers, texters, sack chatters. Thank you to Kyle Ledbetter, as always. Whitey Gleason, Chris Watkins, Jay Johnson. Don't move. Another chance to win those tickets to the Kempton Sawyer.
Alan's
Until
excited
tomorrow.
about something. You must have something fun planned for.
Well, I got that coworker meeting. We got sushi.
Oh, well,
waiting
there
for
you
us.
go.
That's right. I'll take some nigiri and some ginger on the side. Until tomorrow, secure the bag like the bee.
Don't forget my podcast.
Gotta go.
The Drive Guys, weekdays 2 p.m. to 6 p.m.
On